Hey, before we kick things off, we want to talk to you about the presenting sponsor of this show, and that is none other than Miller Lite. Because no matter what team you're rooting for, there's one thing we can all agree on. Football season brings us together. Obviously, no Bears this week, so we'll be watching Red Zone. We'll be watching the conference championship weekend.
Yeah, it's great. It might be the best football weekend of the year. The Bears are off.
Yeah, so it'll be nice. We get to watch the SEC championship, the Big Ten championship. Which one are you most excited for, Dave?
Not Big Ten. That's going to be a blowout. I'm going to go with the Mountain West Championship.
Well, normal.
Yeah, totally.
Good.
Who's in it?
BYU and
They're in
San
the Big
Jose
12.
State.
BYU's in the Big 12. I have no idea BYU's in the Big 12.
The answer is the Pac-12. It's Oregon and Washington. I think that's
probably going to be the
one.
best game.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
And it's going to be enjoyed with Miller Lite, Ed.
Exactly. You should definitely couple it with a Miller Lite. You can get a case delivered right to your door if you go to MillerLite.com/redline. Make it Miller time all season long. You could watch that game with Miller by your side.
If you were going to order a case of Miller Lite for every Iowa touchdown, how many cases would you get to order?
Not many. We would have to
Touchdowns, not points. Touchdowns.
I know. Okay. Zero.
I think zero. So don't do it for that game.
Don't
do it for another game. Yes.
Yesterday, or on the last mid-show, Eddie was saying he never got a candy gram, so I'm going to get you a Miller case delivered.
Oh, I like that.
That's your candy gram.
A milligram.
That's spreading holiday cheer. I like that,
I'm
Danny.
going to say it's from Secret Admirer, but I will take credit for it.
Thank you. That's fine with me, too. I wouldn't mind a secret admirer. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Just make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. On that note, all right, bang, bang. Welcome to the Mid-Show, presented by Miller Lite. We are joined in studio by Lauren Screeden. She's a Bears host, reporter, St. Charles girl, all the above.
St. Charles, this side of the table.
Up?
Yeah, we got a lot of St. Charles in the house.
Strong side over here.
Yes, welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah, no, this is a long time coming. We've been talking about it all this season. We watched one game with you this year.
Yes.
And it
was super fun.
Yeah, it's just
yes,
good to...
we had a great time.
It was the Chiefs game, which was...
Yeah,
it was a low moment for sure.
We had a great time.
Yep.
Yes, it's just good to chop it up about other stuff. And honestly, the one thing, I don't know if anything is like catching your eye, but are you aware of these super pigs? Have you seen this story yet?
I haven't seen any super pigs.
No.
The what?
So there's like these, they got the boars in like Texas.
Yeah.
This is very random.
Great transition. Let's just get right into it.
I acknowledge
super pigs. It's a blog on the site.
I acknowledge it's very random.
Okay.
So do you know they got those? You travel a lot, Lauren, right?
Yeah, I try to, for sure, yeah.
So
I have not come across any of these, though, yet.
Have you seen those boars in, like, Texas and shit, though? That
people hunt them.
Yes.
Roquan has hunted
him and I are going down next month.
You are?
We're supposed to, yeah. Nothing's been booked yet. I'm not holding my breath.
This is something on my bucket list.
Okay.
Dave wants
you think
to
you're gonna
pretend
get
he's
one?
in Vietnam.
I heard the last hunting trip didn't go so well, you guys.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Okay.
Chief kept missing. He
Yeah.
hasn't hit an animal yet, actually.
Yeah, I got two turkeys.
She got a couple turkeys that were running right to him.
Yeah, that's how turkey hunting
the
goes.
boars-
You call them in like a...
The boars might win, but
Yeah, they
No.
probably
okay.
will.
Yeah.
No, we're hanging from helicopters with machine guns.
So now these super pigs are invading from the north, though. Like they're in Canada and they're coming down.
Really?
Yes, which is like we didn't sign up for that shit. We live in this cold ass city. This is not supposed to happen. That's like my philosophy here.
Are they aggressive?
Yeah, they can be.
Oh
Have you
my
ever seen the movie
gosh.
Old Yeller?
No.
Okay.
I
It's
can't.
Ed's favorite movie.
60.
Really?
No, it's a dog.
Dude,
joke.
I have to go to doesthedogdie.com before I watch a movie with a
that's a
dog
site?
in it.
You
It's
have
a
to go
real
to what?
site, doesthedogdie.com, to know if you can watch a movie. Because
I stopped
if
watching House of Cards.
Yeah,
because of it.
if it ends
30
in-
seconds into the first episode, I started. I'm like, can't do
Ed's
this.
going to bookmark this and just...
Yeah, you have to, because who wants
watch all
to
the
end
yes
your night like
movies.
that
Right.
in a crying mess?
Does a dog die? Yes. Eddie adds it to the queue.
Yeah.
What a site! I did not know this existed, Lauren. This is
See?
a good one.
I'm just, here to give you all the important information
Yeah,
today.
no, for real. Yeah, it's a
Type in
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller.
I think we all know how that one goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not know how Old Yeller?
Yes, they take him behind the shed, right?
Oh, God.
I think you just knew that from.
I never
just-
seen it.
We had
It's-
to read it in.
Yeah,
middle
we had
school.
to read it.
Yeah, we
and
had to read
then
it.
we were like, as if reading it wasn't enough, then we watched the movie like, immediately after. Yeah.
Ultimate guy cry movie.
Yeah.
Old
I think I
Yeller.
saw it like
That's
third grade.
terrible.
And I had a
That-
yellow lab at that time.
The
Maxed
St.
the yellow
Charles
lab,
schools,
yep.
what are they doing to you?
I don't know. You got to take it up with Wild Rose Elementary. It's tough.
I went to Wild Rose. All right.
You did too?
I did.
Wow. How far are you guys apart?
a long time.
Really?
Age-wise?
Yeah. Like, what year did you both graduate? Wild Rose.
2000. Oh, Wild Rose.
Oh, I don't even know.
Wild Rose. It sounds like a fucking breakfast place.
Maybe it should be. It does sound like a good breakfast place.
No, you know
I
the
would
best
go to there.
breakfast place in St. Charles?
I don't know.
You do. From the old days.
Well,
On
Marianne
the
made a lot of our
on the-
breakfast at home.
Chief's not a cultured
The
man.
Manor. Come on,
Oh,
man.
the manor, yeah.
It's classic.
He hates the manor. Look at that.
Did you guys ever go to the Duck Inn?
No, they have shitty applesauce.
Wait, the Duck Inn.
Yeah, the Duck Inn's right there. It's off Roosevelt and 25 or 31, one of the two. That's Geneva, though.
I don't know if I like this
Is
site.
everyone Burbs people here?
I'm
You-
from Warrenville,
you
so I'm not far
okay.
from you guys.
Eddie's
I was
in the
only
city.
like 15 minutes.
I'm from the city.
Danny's from Wisconsin.
I got a ton of
Lads.
family in St. Charles. Like my dad's whole side's lives in St. Charles now.
Are you gonna ask her if she knows that one guy that I don't know?
The Manor? I know the
No,
Manor.
no, no. The guy that you coached in baseball. He was like a baseball kid. He asked me, you're like, how do you not know? Oh, the Holtrops?
Yeah, the whole Trops.
Jake,
Jake
Mary,
and Brian,
Pat,
yeah,
and Brad. Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
I didn't know.
There you go.
He's like, I can't believe you don't know. I'm like, I don't
My
fucking
dad
know. I don't know.
hitchhiked out to Wyoming and worked on oil rigs with Jimmy Holtrop when they were 18 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
This site's extreme, Lauren.
Ed's
I'm just saying. I mean, you don't have to do a deep dive into
No,
it.
he's
It's
enjoying
just
himself.
Well, I'm
like
not Old Yeller, okay? And it's like Old Yeller, and it says there's a dog dying. It
it's
says
just good to
Is this
know.
this Eddie just needs it to be like Mr. Skin, where you can
Yeah.
fast forward to the exact spot where the dog gets slaughtered.
Is this like a bit we do, or do you have a problem with dogs?
I have no
He's
problem
both.
with dogs. It's
both.
I've seen some stuff on social media.
Well, like bad dogs. Like I think there are bad dogs, and I think people who pretend like there aren't, that's a problem.
okay.
Like there's bad everything.
Do you like their dogs?
why are you judging all
I've only
dogs
met George.
based on the
He's
actions
not-
of a few?
Our dogs aren't allowed near Ed.
That's
No.
not true.
He'll try to
should-
euthanize them.
You gotta.
That's not true.
You have
You
to
met
meet
George
my
and
dog.
he was like a puppy.
I have
puppy.
a great dog,
What's your dog's name?
Chevy.
Chevy.
Nice.
Brought
like
to you by
that.
Chevy Drive Chicago.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
There
well,
you
yeah.
go.
Actually, it's funny. He can get. So I'm serious. He can get a beer out of the fridge.
Really?
And so I did this video where he went and got a beer, brought it to me, sent it back, and I didn't notice the beer he grabbed. And I'm not just saying this; it was Miller Lite.
Of course it was.
Of course,
Ice
your
cold
dog's got
Miller
a
Lite.
keen
Only
sense
he was
of-
like only 96
Fine
calories
taste. Yep.
just for you.
Yeah, it was money.
Throw a
And-
pair of Muggsy on that dog while you're at it.
yeah.
And shout out Miller Lite. They
Yeah.
sent this whole box of like Christmas stuff and beer, and it was
that's awesome.
like it was actually awesome. Yeah, so maybe if he gets you a beer out of the fridge, you will change your opinion about dogs.
Certainly, that's a good dog.
Yeah.
There's
what
no
kind
way
of
I
dog
could-
is it?
Yellow lab.
Yeah, I love labs. Love labs.
Labs are great. They're just there. They exist. They're fat
They
and
breathe.
lazy and
Yeah.
breathe and
Yeah.
they're happy.
What is
and
that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Oh,
my dog-
That's a
yeah.
great quality
I
in a
thought you were
dog.
marginalizing labs right there.
That's labs in general.
It's just like that grandpa who's always just asleep on the couch. You know, he's not causing any problems.
Yeah.
You used to have him there when you want to talk to him.
Good company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a working dog. He
They're
doesn't-
supposed to be.
Which
We
is a
bred
funny-
that out.
Yeah,
Chevy's a
we
bird
got
dog.
that out of him.
He does okay.
He
I
is
should
hunting?
send him hunting with you guys. Yeah.
Where
We
do you?
don't bird hunt, but
Are you
yeah.
like a hunting girl?
No.
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 You're like a woodsy girl, though, right?
Yeah, I'm like I saw this thing the other day. It was like I'm not outdoorsy. I'm outsidey.
Oh.
So it's like I'm not trying to camp, but from the hours of like 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., like I will be as outdoorsy as you want me to be.
You'll hike
I
as
will
long as you
hike.
sleep in
I
your
will
bed.
roll in
Yeah,
the mud.
yeah.
It'll be great. But like then let's get to a nice hotel.
I think that's very fair. I don't want camping.
no.
Ugh. You're
Yeah.
sweating and sleeping and ugh.
I haven't done it in a long time, but I used to like it.
Camping ain't for the weak.
Really? I've never
Actually,
been
yeah, it
truly
can be fun.
camping. We sold our house and did an RV, bought an RV.
Oh, I saw that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how long I lasted?
No.
4 days.
Really?
And you're like, nope, need
And
Buy
like the
that
house
house
was
back.
just,
It's like, did we close?
we
Did
couldn't
it
undo
close?
it. We could not undo it.
What was
Yeah.
the worst part about it? Like, what was the top 3 deal breakers to RV life?
Number one was just not having like a normal shower bathroom situation. Like, yes, I know there's a nice bathroom. Like, it was this huge fifth wheel. It was really nice. Like, yes, there might be granite countertops, but like everything is still moving. Like, everything is still in RV form. So that's not real water that you're flushing the toilet with.
It's
That's
like-
not, it's
yeah.
like a whole thing.
We did it when I was 14. We did a cross country trip in RV for 3 weeks, and it was probably still my favorite trip.
I would love to
Really?
do it one
Yeah.
day.
So we.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a difference between a trip and like trying to be like, this is it.
Well, I made it longer
that
than
was
4
the
days.
But if I knew there was the
She
end
didn't
in
get to,
sight.
didn't get to Iowa, basically.
No, we got to Nashville and turned right around.
No, did you
Right
really?
around. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. No, I'm serious.
Like you got 6 hours into the trip.
We stopped at, so we used this site and it
Purdue?
was called like Hip Camp, right? So for the first night, we tried to stay. The whole idea is like you can stay at like a brewery or a winery or something like that, and you could stay for one night. First of all, though, this thing was so big, it was like 45 feet long. So like with that in the truck, we are like longer than a semi driving down the road. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is massive. So there's a lot of regulations on the size that you can bring to certain RV parks and stuff like that. So we get to this, sign up on this Hip Camp place, and it happened to be like this farmer's front yard that we are staying at. So we pull up and he's like on his tractor waving us down, you know, like, come on in. And so we pull up and park this massive RV. And I'm talking to the guy and he's like, yeah, this was always my wife's dream and blah, 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 like to host people. We've RV'd all over the country, all that. I'm like, oh, great, you know. And he said, it's just sad my wife never got to see it. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, you know. He said she passed away 3 years ago. I said, oh, you know, I'm sure she's really happy with, you know, everything that you've done here and to see people enjoying this. And he goes, she is. She's right there under that bush. And I'm like,
That's
what?
Get me back to home.
It's like Old Yeller.
That was
Put him underneath the tree.
That was
Were you like stepping on her? or
strike one.
anything?
Chevy was like lifting his leg over
Yeah,
there. And I'm
yeah.
like, this isn't even like a memorial.
Circle
I'm
of
like,
life.
what are we doing?
Yeah. Circle of
Yeah.
life. I like that. It's nice. I
So
like this
how
stuff.
did that conversation go with the husband?
How much driving did you do too, by the way, of that?
Well, none. I can't drive a trailer. I mean, I was
I
like.
don't think many people could.
Also,
Yeah.
here, were you in an RV?
Most people.
Yeah.
So you're probably like, you're a kid, right? You're playing video games.
It
You're
was
hanging
awesome.
out.
Yeah.
Movies.
No,
We
yes.
had like this was so long ago that we brought the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh,
that was,
okay.
You're
That
one of
was our
those that bought
system on
that.
that trip.
Yeah.
And we had an awesome time. And then like you would like I remember falling asleep and waking up in the Badlands in South Dakota and being like,
Are we on
stars
Mars?
were unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's nothing around. It was incredible. And then you just did that. We did like the whole West and California, Grand Canyon, and then straight home. It was. I would love to do it again.
Yeah.
You want to do like a little road trip, guys?
I'm in.
I've done it before with my friends.
Yeah,
It was great.
in an RV.
Yeah, there was 10 dudes in one RV. And we like slept in there too.
Yeah.
So it was,
Probably smelled
Yeah.
crazy.
That
it's-
seems
Bad.
it smelled
tight.
bad.
We
Like
should,
your locker room?
we should see
Smell-
if we
smell
can
your
get something
balls from
like
the
that
front.
sponsored next summer.
What an RV trip.
Yeah, like can we get
I would love to. Dave and Carl did for one spring training.
It was
Yeah.
3 days or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Not like a full
Made
thing.
it made it longer than Lauren.
You made
Yeah.
it longer.
Yeah.
It's so
that-
true.
But like what? So when
So
you're like,
true.
all right, I gotta get home. What? How did that
Put this
conversation
thing in
go
drive.
with the
I gotta
husband?
get home.
Yeah, we gotta get home.
Was he in agreement?
He could have done it. Like his whole thing was like, we wanted to go and find where our dream place is, where we want to live. So,
Okay.
so he was just logical, right? Like guys are logical most of the time. So he was like, this is a
Not
way
in this
for me
room.
to. This was a way for him to have his dirt bikes and everything else. Like, I think having his garage with him was like more appealing
Yeah.
than the actual traveling about the country.
So
But
it was just
he
you two
was
and your
okay
dog?
with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a couple of friends meet us. My friend actually flew out from New York because she's like, I got to see this. Like, I got to see this.
Wait, so what'd you do then? You just went back and you stayed in a Ramada for like a couple months? So you
Yeah.
bought a
Well,
house?
we moved a lot of our stuff out to Montana.
Okay.
And then, which was kind of the plan anyways. We have a house out there. And then we stayed with my in-laws.
Oh, got you. Got
Yeah.
you. Wow, and this was during COVID?
No, this was in June.
Oh, this was this year?
What's wrong with you?
I thought it was in COVID.
I
too.
was like,
But-
yeah, I was like, oh, all right, you were just a prisoner of the moment. You were doing
Yeah.
what everyone
No,
else
I was like a
doing.
prisoner of stupidity, and like I was going through like, yeah, let's do that. Why not? Everybody in COVID loved it.
Damn.
No.
All right. Well, I learned like if I ever want to do that, I'll do it for like 10 days first to see if I like
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
learned a lesson from you.
So
Yeah.
There's free trials for a
See?
reason.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it was, and then we broke it. The wall broke. It was like a whole thing. It cost probably $10,000 in damage.
Yeah. There you go.
Because
Yeah.
the wall broke?
Yeah.
the wall broke, and then when my husband was pulling it out of, the farmer's,
You could have done
front
like
yard,
3 weeks in Europe for that
it
10
was,
grand.
Oh,
Yeah,
could
in,
have
like, the south of
stayed
France.
in I could have been sailing the French whatever Riviera.
Riviera, yeah.
Yeah.
I also love that the
Live
straw
and
that
learn.
broke. Yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back though was a guy buried his wife under
Yeah.
a bush.
I mean, when you're sitting out there, like, let's look at the stars
Yeah.
and all that. You're like, we're not alone.
I gotta say, like, I don't think that would bother me. If someone's like, yeah, my wife's buried over there.
Do you watch Yellowstone? That old guy died under the tree.
I do.
I
That's
love
true.
that. That's how
That is true.
that is the way
He's
to
like, I
go.
refuse to feel bad for him.
Yeah.
He died a perfect death. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
you know
like,
what?
and it's
He
like
kinda
the
did.
Lion King. As Mufasa
Yeah,
gives
no,
that big speech where it's like, we die and then the
The
grass
gazelle
grows
eats
over.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually saw Teeter from that show, She was
Yeah.
doing she had like one of those earth roamer things. She
I don't
was
know what
doing
that is. What
it's
is
like a
that?
very intense life on the road vehicle. She was doing van life.
Okay.
And we ran into her like at the hardware store in Montana, and she had her dog and then this huge, like utility vehicle thing, but she was actually doing it. I looked at her Instagram and she was like,
Can you tell like who a Yellowstone fan is in Montana? Like, can you tell who's just there because of the show?
Can
Yeah.
you do people in
And
Montana
for the record,
hate the show?
yeah. I mean, it has just caused the area to explode.
All these fucking people from
Explode.
California,
Yeah.
and Illinois.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. It's
How long
like
have you been there? Are you one of these?
2018.
Oh,
so
Well,
no.
you're still one of them,
no.
though.
No.
But the show, they were all talking about the California bitches and stuff.
Yeah,
she got
no,
in a
it's
fight
true.
with one of them.
People will legitimately say like, because they say, "Oh, where are you from?" We're like, "Oh, we have a spot up, in Livingston here," and they'll say, "Well, where are you originally from?"
Yeah.
We're like, "Well," they go, "Don't say California." We're like, "No, it's Chicago, and people are more okay with it.
Okay,
That's good to know.
that's nice.
Yeah. But come on out to Montana, you guys.
I would love to.
Take a
I've never
little
been to that
trip.
part of that country.
So I had a
I
chance.
love
The
it
elk
out- I
walk through
love
the
it out
backyard.
west.
You can
Not
you
on
can
our
probably
watch.
get
We'd snipe them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had a chance to go to a bull riding competition, and
Really?
and like PBR was like sending, like they invited me to go to whatever event I wanted. And I was like, I really want to be like in bull country. Like I don't want to, it's one thing to see it in Rosemont or to see it in
Yeah.
Madison Square
Yeah.
Garden. Like I want to be in bull country, where people like live and breathe that shit and
Yeah.
wear those boots 365 days a year, not just for a weekend like me. And I was like between spots, and I picked Cheyenne, Wyoming instead of Big Sky. So that was.
I didn't know that was the debate.
Wow.
Well,
I knew you went to Cheyenne for it. I didn't know there was another option.
I could have done anything, not in hindsight, because I was like in my head, because they told me about this Frontier Days, which is like the world's largest rodeo, which is cool. It's a
Yeah.
great setup and
Yeah.
everything. But Cheyenne is not what I expected, like when I thought like real rough and
I thought
tumble.
the Rocky Mountains be a lot
Yes.
rockier than this.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And from what I understand now, Big Sky was the play if I wanted to do that.
yeah,
And
well,
Let's
Wow.
do it again.
I think they do have an
Let's
event
get an
there.
RV.
Come on
Where's
out there,
yours?
you
Where's your
guys.
RV? Where's
Yeah.
your RV? Did you send it
it
back?
got
guys just
sent
leave
back
it
to
at,
Texas. Yeah,
all
it
right.
was.
You
So
didn't
we'll
leave it with
turn
the
it
dead
right
lady in the
around.
ground.
No, we could have.
I think we could get this sold. Let's get Nick Addison back here, and we'll
Yes.
do a little boys trip out west, 3 weeks in the summer.
Deal.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I have my CD. All
What
I
are you
You're
guys
can
really
gonna do with your
fun.
dogs?
bring
they're
them.
They're coming.
Yeah, bring them.
I didn't agree to that.
I know
Well,
you didn't.
It's four
That-
against
that-
one, so
there you go.
Majority rules.
right?
Yeah. No, you're gonna want him out there on that trip.
Why?
More
Listen,
keep the coyotes away.
Yeah, coyotes, wolves, mountain lions.
Mountain lions, keep the mountain lions away.
Ace
Yeah.
has Ridgeback in him. You know what Ridgebacks are bred to do?
what?
Oh,
Kill lions.
Yeah.
yeah, tame lions.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And George is the type of dog that you go, or Nebraska Nate said they take him out to go mountain lion hunting.
All right, we can bring one dog then.
All right,
Because
George.
I don't like mountain lions either.
Yeah.
No, they're really
George,
scary.
I will
really
say,
scary.
Ace,
George is a little bitch. He
Ace
is.
All right,
won't do
George
any-
can stay home.
Ace,
Board him up.
He's not defending anything. Either.
No? All right.
He might bark
Chevy
at
is.
it. He might bark at it.
Ace wouldn't
Howl
even do
at
that.
it.
So
George would probably howl at it.
We're providing a doggy hotel for no reason. We got 3 dogs in the RV, but the lions are still going to get us.
Yeah, they pay
No.
rent.
George would intimidate them, but if they ever came close, he'd be fucked.
I don't know, though, man. I know I keep going back to this, but I'm getting in so heavy to these Ring doorbell cameras where thinking of a secluded RV is scaring me, kind of.
Why? They're
Hey.
gonna come get all of us? No.
We'll have protection on us.
Yeah. Also, it's Montana. Nobody's
Yeah.
like, believe me,
That's
nobody's
what you
coming and
think.
like knocking on doors
That's
that
what you
they
think.
don't belong.
Until fucking.
What's that Netflix movie that with Jeremy Renner? Have you seen that? You guys know what I'm talking about?
With the Native American
She's from
reservation.
She's in
Yeah.
Yellowstone.
Yeah,
It's a very good movie where they have like
What's
these
the name?
I
Night
don't think I've seen
something.
it.
It's very good.
They got these guys that are working on an oil rig, and
Night River. What the
Wind River.
Wind River. It's good. Yes.
Very good movie. Highly recommend, but disturbing. Like
Really?
It's very disturbing.
it's like one of the more disturbing scenes I've ever seen on camera.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been into like the lighthearted movies lately.
Really?
You
I
on the Hallmark Channel for the
Yeah,
holidays?
I mean, not that bad.
Okay,
But
all right.
yeah, I don't know. I can't do like the scary movies. I think they're really.
I thought I was signing up for like a Yellowstone-esque movie,
Yeah.
and then I was in too deep, and I was like, "Holy shit! What the
It's-
fuck?" Did
yeah,
I
like
just
what
do?
is
fucked up.
this?
Yeah.
I should go on to doesthedogdie.com before it's too late.
there might be. In
There
that
might be, but if a dog did die in that movie, it was not the most disturbing thing, not by a long shot.
Is
So,
is
Have you seen The
101
Lobster?
Dalmatians making it
No.
to doesthedogdie.com?
I wonder.
That's kind of a dark plot, actually,
implied
if you
dog
think about
deaths.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 101
Yeah,
Dalmatians?
101 Dalmatians.
Oh, yeah. It's a Disney movie.
That
Disney
mother,
used to let her rip, huh?
that mother,
Yeah.
that mother
Disney
Dalmatian
got away
went
with it
through
for a
hell.
long time.
Exactly.
Oh,
Then
yeah, they did.
Then they overcorrected. Now they're
Yeah.
kind of.
I mean, going back to Lion King, that was like a murder coup d'état to like take over an entire country.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
murdered your brother.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucked up.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
Hey, if we do take the RV trip, you know where we got to stop?
Portillo's.
Portillo's.
Yeah.
So we got
We
to.
should
Well,
just
Load
stock
up.
up,
First
load
stop.
up.
what's
yeah.
your order, Lauren?
Yeah. Italian beef, no peppers.
Okay.
Kind of weak, but okay.
I know you were gonna hate that. Regular fry, cheese if I'm feeling like I really need
Yeah,
that,
crazy.
and then I love root beer.
Really?
Yeah, I get a root beer.
That makes me want to call Frank the Tank to see if Italian beef pairs well with root beer.
We should.
Really?
We need
Just
to
to
get
see.
him an Italian beef.
And
Yeah.
try. I don't
It's
know.
so
What
good.
Tanky
Portillo's.
like it? I don't know if Tanky
I don't know that he
like
would,
that.
but
An Italian beef?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why
it's-
wouldn't he?
He likes the dogs.
Doesn't seem like a picky eater.
Yeah.
Frank,
I
he's
think
as
Frank
picky
would-
as
I
it
think-
gets.
Well,
Is he?
with certain things.
Oh, yeah.
I think Frank would do an Italian beef and like it.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But
Maybe not the peppers, but the beef itself.
Yeah, he wouldn't do
definitely.
the peppers, but he would dip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Regardless.
sometimes if you have cheese left over to like dip the sandwich. In
It
the
sounds
cheese.
like
Oh,
you
it's
and
so
Frank
good.
might have the
Are
same
we-
exact
are
order.
we best friends?
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends?
Why not? Wash
Tanky.
it down with a cake shake, maybe.
Yeah.
Go get
I
some
mean,
Portillo's.
yeah, you could just give me a straw for the cheese. Also, it's so
Oh.
good.
Yes.
we had a
So
cheese
freaking
fondue
good.
fountain here from them.
What?
Yeah.
Second night we opened the office.
It
I
was
just
awesome.
wanted to like put my mouth
I
under
would-
it and just
yeah.
like let it pour down.
I
my
would
throat.
have been asked to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, just
Like-
get her out.
Yeah.
As soon as they took
She's
it out,
gone.
I was just waiting for the first person to go, so I wouldn't be the first person. I'm just looking at salivating.
Yeah.
She's gone.
So good.
Just splashing around in there.
Portillo's, it always sounds good. Visit your local Portillo's or go to portillos.com to order your Italian beef or Chicago dog or cheese fries or cake shake for pickup or delivery. Yeah, I don't know. You say Montana's safe though, but that,
Mountain lion.
It's safe if
Cowboys.
you make it safe. Yeah.
yeah, so they got people hiding murder kits around there.
Can we go check out the train station?
Sure.
I would love to.
That's in Wyoming. That's like over the
It's a-
border.
It's right over the border.
It's Wyoming. That's what it
But
is.
it's
though.
like
Isn't it?
Yellowstone, right?
It's,
Where there's
in
no-
Yellowstone, it's in Idaho, and it's in Wyoming.
and no one has jurisdiction.
No one has jurisdiction. There's no natural inhabitants. So
It's a
they
real
can't-
place,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
real
Oh,
place.
is it?
Yeah.
Some
Oh,
dude
I
killed an
didn't know.
elk there that's like without a tag, and that's
Oh.
the only thing that's like been actually used for. But you could commit a murder there, and no one
Yeah.
could do a single thing.
Interesting.
Who would
Yeah.
you murder? Who would you take
Oh,
to the train
man.
station?
I would love to take a few
Who's,
people to the train
who's on the
station.
top of your murder list?
Come here, Jerry.
I used to.
Going on a ride.
I used to love that in the old office where we had the whiteboard where you had updated your 3 most hated people.
of the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of on my shit list now.
Really?
As
Yeah.
long?
Am I on it yet?
Nah, not.
We don't know.
do
We
have
don't know
a
each other
kind of-
well enough yet.
You do have a tangential relationship with the team that makes me miserable. So
He's got a soft
Same
spot.
to you.
He's got a soft spot for girls. So
that's
Oh,
not
that's
true.
nice.
yeah, he's a girl's guy.
That's not true.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Breaking.
Do you guys talk about that on this show? Or?
It's been
Try
talked
not
about
to.
enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, moving right along. Cut that. Cut.
No.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
But
Whatever.
I don't want to see Jerry Reinsdorf because like he's gonna die soon,
You
and that
think?
makes me feel bad. Probably not actually. He's
He's
immortal.
got the lifespan of a tortoise.
Spry.
Yeah, he's like a lobster.
Right.
He's a lobster. I asked if you watch that
Lobsters
because
live long?
yeah, like 150 years.
Really? Oh, I didn't know.
They're
Lobsters though?
Yeah.
I didn't know
there's
that.
some-
Should I have known
I'm
that?
pretty
I know
sure.
like tortoises live a long
Yeah.
time.
I think
Parrots.
lobsters they won't die naturally. They have to be hunted by something. I'm pretty sure something weird like
I
that.
also think lobsters have been on planet Earth longer than trees. Like lobsters, like
would
the
make
species
sense, yeah.
are. So whenever somebody says something like that, I'm like, what do you mean older? Like, how can something be older than a tree? Like, I feel
because
like
everything
trees,
come from the water
I
first.
know,
right?
but to have like one thing be around that long is fucking insane. It's like 4 billion years old or something. Yeah,
They do give like dinosaur-y vibes, I guess.
yeah, they're
You know.
creepy crawly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like them.
Oh,
I'll
they're-
eat them.
You're not
like-
supposed to eat them according to the Bible, but that because they're like
But
bottom
that's-
feeders, and they used to be prison food.
That exactly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're
Really?
so fucking delicious.
Wow.
Are you guys lobster over crab legs?
You know, I've had way more lobster in my life, so probably, but I like crab legs too.
I would second that.
You
I've
would
had
say?
a lot of lobster. Honestly, though, I like if you give me like lobster mac and cheese or like even a
Yeah.
lobster bisque, anything like that.
Lobster
But
cargo.
but all of them, yeah, like everything just when you have to do the work to get it out. That and crab legs. When you have to do all the work.
So you don't want to do the cracking.
I don't really want to do the work.
My dad was from this. He lived in this town when he was a little kid that had this little shack on the beach in Massachusetts, and we would go there when like maybe once a year when I was little, and they would you would pick out your lobster, and then they would boil it right in front of your face.
That's what I don't like.
And then you would crack it,
And
and you
start
wear
screaming.
you wear the bib.
That's
and
what-
it was fun. It was like an
Wow.
experience.
Yeah, that
That's-
is cool.
So my grandparents live on a little inlet off the Atlantic Ocean in New Jersey, and we would literally throw crab traps right off their dock. And the first time I ever saw them cook, they scream or they like the whistle.
Yeah.
Ooh, not. But
You're like
then-
it's a scream. Like that's
It's a
what
scream,
that's what
yeah.
it is.
They're
Like
in
people are like, oh,
boiling
just
water.
whistle. Yeah, of course. Like
Ugh,
how would you feel?
It's pretty. It's making my toes curl right now thinking about
Aren't you
it.
supposed to like gradually raise the temperature so they don't even really know?
I don't
but
know.
you hunt.
You're feeding the family
You don't
though.
have-
It's
Same-
such.
same.
It's.
But
I
what
know.
are you doing
I
with the
know.
lobster?
Same.
Aren't you
It's-
eating
it's-
the lobster?
It's a different.
Say checkmate.
It's a
Checkmate.
different
I don't know how to
feeling.
play chess.
He's a hypocrite.
I'm not.
That's all it comes down to.
Okay,
But
got
also,
it.
well, like
Okay.
I know it is check.
Enough
All
said.
dogs go to heaven, all lobsters don't, apparently.
Does the lobster die?
Lobster
That
doesn't-
I think lobster's also made for life. So if you kill,
That was why he wanted
See,
to.
that I
lobster.
knew. That was my lobster fact. I knew.
Yeah.
Shout out friends.
That they're
I think,
made what?
for
They
teaching
mate for
that.
life.
They mate
so
for
if you
life.
snatch one up in a trap,
So like we can't reproduce when we're 90. A lobster can reproduce when it's 100.
Oh, no
oh, I
shit.
didn't
Yeah.
know that.
That was yeah.
I'm sure some 90-year-olds.
No,
I
it's
thought
not. They're
they
polygamous.
I thought they were pair bonded.
No, they're not. Or which one? Monogamous.
That's some long-lasting ovaries.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's why he picked. That's why I asked the movie The Lobster. There's a dog death scene in that movie that's gruesome. However,
Not watching that one.
It's it's a very good movie.
De Niro and Pacino just had a kid.
Yeah.
They're both in their 80s. Not together.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I feel like somewhere some 90-year-old has reproduced.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, like it's
They call it
doable.
serial monogamy.
Lobsters?
That's what it says.
They're
yeah.
swingers.
Yeah. Was that what that means?
No.
All right. I don't think the swimmers stop, right?
I thought it
Wait,
just meant
serial
that they.
so they don't have a mate for life.
Yeah, what is that? That's like an oxymoron.
I'm confused.
Serial
While
monogamy.
plenty of animals practice long-term monogamy, lobsters are not among them. Lobsters actually mate by a weird system of serial monogamy. It's not exactly a one-night stand, but it's not a lifelong commitment either. So they just date. They just fuck around.
That sounds like polygamy.
Serial monogamy
So
sounds like the way
lobsters-
to explain.
Yeah.
It's me.
So lobsters are living their dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, cool.
They're like NBA players,
That's
these
like-
lobsters.
No, it sounds. It's the way that read to me was like they have like a long-term
The way
relationship.
that read to
and
me
then they're
was-
like,
yeah.
let's move on to the next.
But that's what's
They
the
don't
difference
know
between
what
that
they
and
want.
polygamy.
I think polygamy, you're doing it at the same time.
Oh,
so it's like one
multitasking.
relationship ends and then the next one begins.
So they
Where
don't-
polygamy
they don't-
is just
okay.
like all
It's like a
all-
free for all.
Yeah.
Lobsters don't keep a side chick.
Correct.
It's one chick at a time.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it just meant they could mate
Dedication.
until death.
That might be true too, but that what I just looked there was.
Are you a polygamy guy?
And I can't say that I am.
No?
No, that would be too much. I feel like.
Will just be a lot of.
How do you keep the peace?
I don't know.
You're talking like sister wives. That's what polygamy is.
What an
What-
insane show.
I've never actually.
I've never seen it, but
Yeah.
just like the premise, like there's a lot of wild
What is
shows
it?
out there.
Sister wives.
I don't
It's
think I
like
know
the
it.
Mormons who they have like a head of the household as a man,
Yeah.
and they have like, I got 3 wives, and then it's like they introduce a 22-year-old.
Handmaid's Tale.
This is my 4th wife.
Yeah, and then everyone's expected to be okay
This guy
with
sees
it.
Handmaid's Tale everywhere.
Handmaid's Tale is the new South Park.
It really is.
You
what
just
I've
described
been-
it.
I'm happy that broke the ice because you obviously just kind of revealing that you're in a relationship has kind of explains a little more about why you're such a Handmaid's Tale guy.
I started
It
that
is,
show
you
on
know-
my complete own though. I swear to God, and it was because I watched The Lobster. I swear to God, because
really?
it's similar, like dystopian type shows, and it was like a recommended, so I threw it on. I'm like, oh,
Really?
and I read
it's
the
dystopian for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like recommended.
Is it dystopian?
The Handmaid's Tale,
No, the other one.
The Lobster. Of
It's like
course it is.
But it's like it's more like kind of sci-fi fantasy where they can turn into a different animal or
Can you Google The Lobster for me? I bet dystopia is like the first word
yeah,
in the
I
description.
mean it's maybe. But it all takes place in like one hotel.
Dystopia? You want me? How do you even
The
Google that?
Lobster. Like
You can't spell dystopia. That's the problem.
No, what do you mean? Like the
what's
lobster?
how-
what is the
Topia.
genre?
I
Like
definitely
what does
thought
it say?
was
What's the
an eye.
description?
It's a black comedy drama film.
There you go.
There's not a single joke made in that whole movie.
Oh yeah, there are.
When?
I think the premise of
I-
turning yourself into a lobster is enough of a joke.
No, but like the whole thing with his brother.
Danny, you've
his-
seen it. Would you consider that a dystopian movie?
I guess, but I don't think it's like making the description of the actual movie.
Handmaid's Tale is definitely dystopia.
Because
Well,
you can
it's
also
a
choose.
series
You can
also.
also like choose
It's longer.
utopia in a sense.
Correct.
In lobster, if you want.
Yes.
Depending on the animal you go with.
Oh, I guess that's
Or-
you know what? Fair counterpoint.
Thank you, Dave. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
But
Whoa.
the
should come
whole
in more often.
Yeah.
the whole
Wow. Okay.
the whole movie
I'll be here
takes
next week.
place in
Yeah.
a dystopian setting.
one man's dystopia is another man's utopia.
That could be true.
Wow.
You're very agreeable today.
I don't think. No, what he said was true though.
Thank you, Dave.
About
Yes.
how you could pick to be.
Do you take that as an insult that you're very agreeable today?
He had a reflex.
Yeah, it was like,
But
no,
then
I'm
he-
not.
But then he
Kinda.
became more agreeable. So this is the most agreeable
This is
you've ever been.
nice.
See, Lauren, you made him positive.
That's great. I also heard you were in a bad mood yesterday. So
Why was I in a bad mood yesterday?
I don't know.
I didn't say that.
Something happened. I feel
Something
like you
happened.
I wasn't in a bad mood yesterday. I was in a fantastic mood yesterday.
were. Oh, yeah,
I was crabby
yeah,
yesterday.
he was.
Oh,
You were
crabby.
grumpy.
You were
Crabby.
grumpy, Gills.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Why are you crabby?
Someone pissed in your applesauce.
I mean, Patrick Kane signed with the Wings.
Oh,
the
that-
Blackhawks
Oh,
had a
yeah,
contract,
okay,
and,
yeah.
Like it just
That's
it gets
that's-
under my skin when people are such dickheads on the internet. And that was bothering me yesterday because people were being
Do you-
dickheads.
That's fair. That could put you
Matt,
in a bad mood.
what's his last name?
Henkel.
Hinkle, yeah. That kid's gonna get punched in the face by somebody.
Why? He's like the nicest guy ever.
That doesn't mean he's not gonna get punched in the face by somebody.
Yeah.
Some
He
context
is
here for people who are listening.
loud about his sports teams. No one's gonna punch him in the face.
Some
But
context here.
Yeah, so
He is
social media
loud.
Matt, he's a new guy from Detroit. And like I showed up yesterday and he sits basically right across from me in the office out there. He had a Tigers hat on and a big Detroit Red Wings uniform. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like on today of all days, he's like, "Well, I'm excited."
Too soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
didn't
That's why we're
respect the morning
grumpy.
period.
it's just like
Yeah.
a little. It's like subtle taunting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have to talk about how you're just putting out Red Wings merch now.
Why?
Who is?
I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you getting shit for that?
Some people.
Yeah.
But like that's a shirt that had to be made. We're in the merch
Shirt
merch
making game.
merch industry. So it's a nice looking shirt. I'm not gonna wear one. But like I love
If you're a Red Wings fan,
yeah, it's good
buy
for
one.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never hated the Red Wings the way that I'm supposed to as
Yeah.
a Blackhawks fan, because when I was a kid, the Hawks were so bad, and their teams weren't hateable. They had guys that I loved, like Yzerman and Lidstrom, and then Datsuk and Zetterberg. They had like no villains. So, and it was like, is a nail a rival with a hammer? Like, we were the nail. Like, the Wings just like whipped our ass, and the Hawks weren't even on TV, so it didn't even really matter. And then when the Hawks got good, they went to the Eastern Conference. So it was just like, they had one playoff series.
Why can't the Hawks be in the East?
It's
heard you
a
say that
balance
yesterday.
thing. I wish
Yeah.
they would, but like the NBA, like the Bulls are in
Throw
the East.
the fucking someone in the East. Throw the Wild in the East. Throw somebody.
The Wild are in the
I'm
West.
just-
You're saying the opposite. Yeah,
Throw
like the Blue Jackets. Send
someone,
them,
yeah. Get
no,
someone the fuck over
I
there.
wish they were. I love 6 o'clock starts. Like, I love when the Blackhawks are on a little East Coast road trip. I go to bed by 9:30. It's great. But yeah, I don't know. I wish they were, because they're the only original 6 team in the West. It kind of sucks. So, but anyways, I don't hate the Wings, and I love Patrick Kane, and I do have like this soft spot for Detroit, because I feel like they with their teams are about as miserable as us overall.
Yeah.
So it's just like, here's a nice shirt.
The thing that sucks
cool.
about that
So
comment
enjoy.
is it shouldn't be like that in Chicago. It's the third biggest city in the country. Major
I feel like
market.
that only really applies to baseball, though.
No.
Everyone else has a salary cap.
I understand that, but like, fuck that. Like, we shouldn't be compared to Detroit or Cleveland, and we are.
In terms of sports
Yeah.
misery, yeah. But like baseball, you can spend your way out.
Right.
You can't do that in hockey, football, or basketball.
Eddie, you gonna put out a Roquan Smith Ravens shirt?
Nah, I don't
It's not
think I
even
could.
his
I don't
favorite
think I could
Georgia
do
player.
that though. I don't think. I don't. I mean, I'm not. Listen, to each your own. I'm not going to give you shit for it, but I don't think I'd be able to do it.
Really, see, I feel like there's few athletes there, like Patrick Kane being one,
Yeah.
like where they go to another team and you're still a fan of them. And
I mean, Chief could have let Chicklets do that.
They weren't. We talked about it. And
No,
look,
I'm fucking.
And like,
Yeah.
there is like a thing where it's like,
I made sure it wasn't in our section of the store. Because it'd be weird to have a Detroit thing on Barstool Chicago. So I'm like, just put this somewhere else.
yeah, you have
But-
boundaries.
Yeah.
It still goes to our ledger, though, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just making sure.
We're still gonna get paid for that.
Yeah. Okay. And we sold a bunch. So it was,
Love it.
So keep buying them.
But,
Patrick
like,
Kane to the Red Wings.
Yeah, and I just, this is going to sound kind of weird, but I do think as like an American, like Patrick Kane, especially people our age or my age, like he kind of belongs to everybody. Like everybody across the country loves Patrick Kane. That's why the Rangers were, I was so upset last year when he went to the Rangers that I didn't even think about merch. So the Chicklets guys did that one. This one, it's like it's already gone. I'm still so mad at the Blackhawks management that I was just like, fuck it, who cares? So
Gotcha.
So you've had enough time to process.
Yeah.
Now it's like wherever he ends up, I'm
Spite
happy
merch.
for him. It's like,
yeah, it is kind of spite mark. Like I might as well, if they're gonna make me miserable, we might as well make some money off of it.
so you wouldn't get a Roquan Ravens jersey?
No.
Get that zero? Come
Well,
on.
I was going to go to one of his games. I wanted to go to the Steelers Ravens games. One of the games with Phil, his buddy Phil, who
Oh,
shoots
yeah.
all
Yeah,
his
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we were going to go to one. I would have done that for sure, but it just didn't work out with the way the Bears schedule was.
You have to start reworking your impression. Ravens, fuck.
I know. Could you?
No, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, they might be my horse going the
Yeah.
rest of the way.
Oh,
That'd be a good way to go, right? I do miss him though.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about we could bond on this too, Lauren. ChevyDriveChicago.com. You brought him up earlier.
Great.
You're a big
Named
fan.
her
I'm a
dog
big
after
fan.
him.
Yes.
Big fan. Yeah, my husband named him before.
But
my
still.
husband had Chevy
good
before.
taste.
He
Good
taught him
taste,
the
yeah.
beer
Yeah.
trick and all that. But
come here,
yeah.
Chevy Drive Chicago.
That's what we say.
Exactly.
Only when he's in trouble.
Chevy Drive
You
Chicago.
got
full
to
name.
you got to
Full
middle
name.
name him.
Yeah.
I actually do. I'm like Chevrolet.
Do you call him that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I
when
love
I'm really
that.
pissed.
Chevrolet off the
Yeah,
couch. Off
yeah.
the couch.
Like when he's gotten skunked for like the 6th time.
Chicagoland.
towards you.
Your local Chevy dealers want you to know that the time to buy a Chevy is now. Whether you're looking for a car for you, the whole family, Chevy has a great selection of SUVs of all sizes and sleek and comfortable interiors and top tier technology and safety features. Was there one that you've been like impressed with that you've been checking out?
A Chevy.
Yeah, you seem like an Equinox girl.
I would love an Equinox. I have a I don't.
What'd you have the RV hooked up to? Suburban?
No, it was along with
Suburban,
selling.
right?
No, along with selling the house. we got a dually, like
Oh,
big truck
okay.
too. So like guys, when I tell you the level of commitment
You were all
into
in.
this was like all in.
You were all
But
in.
that was a
lasted-
Chevy's. Was it Chevy Silverado?
It was definitely
Maybe?
a Chevy
It was definitely a
Silverado.
Chevy Silverado.
Had to be.
Get
Had
one
to be.
today.
Yeah, so check out the latest offers on the Chevy Equinox, Blazer, and Trax, and find your local dealer at ChevyDrivesChicago.com today. We'll do this, and then we could wrap up here, Lauren. We'll stop holding you hostage.
I'm having a great time.
And this freezer in here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
It is
meat
cool.
locker.
Are you? Did you guys do your Spotify Wrapped?
I did.
I don't really. I'm an Apple Music guy.
Oh, sucks
I got
for
mine.
him. Do you have Spotify?
I have Spotify.
Oh, let's do it. Are you?
What is this?
Oh, you didn't see this?
There we
Can't
go.
play it probably, but
No.
It just
Are we
tells you
doing this
your
live
top
on the
artist.
air?
Yeah,
played.
live in the air. Are you going to be like self-conscious of your musical choices?
I don't think so. I don't use it that much.
Oh, okay.
How do I find it?
I actually
feel
think they do a
100
great
here.
job with this personally.
Hit Spotify, and then on the top tabs it says music, podcast, audiobooks, Wrapped. Do you see it?
And hit Wrapped.
I don't have rap.
I don't use it.
You don't have Wrapped?
I
Here,
don't think so.
Google. This is what I did.
Do you see my number one, the mid show?
Oh, appreciate
What's
that.
up, guys?
There we
Okay.
But she just said she doesn't use it. So
Mine.
No.
one episode.
For music, does it do podcasts too?
Yes.
Oh, it does.
Does music and
Interesting.
podcast. You're gonna make fun of
That'll
my
auto open it. It should auto open the
Okay.
app, right?
mine's so fucking basic. I'm embarrassed.
Let's hear it.
But it's a great song. Morgan
kid.
Wallen Last Night was my number one song.
It's such a good one,
I
though.
know it's so good.
It's so good.
I
It's
thought
so
it was for
good.
sure going to be some sort of doo-wop.
No, the doo-wop playlist I released the summer before, so this Morgan Wallen edged it. But yeah, Morgan, Something in the Orange was number 2, so
It's a good song.
I'm pretty.
How many songs did you play?
What is wrong with mine? Mine's not doing it. Click
You
here
might have to
for your-
update the app then.
Oh my gosh.
My top 5 artists: Morgan Wallen, Zach Bryan, Cole Swindell, Dashboard Confessional, and Luke Combs.
I'm shocked that Dashboard Confessional is on.
Dude,
there.
I don't know why. I guess I was going through it, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a big
Do you have a
Dashboard.
bad breakup?
Yeah, what's
No,
going
no,
on?
I don't
You
know.
want to talk about it?
My
or-
hopes are so high that your kiss might kill me.
It's a great song. That's their best song.
That was the first concert I ever saw. It was for free. Have to
Really?
add that.
My first concert was Rascal Flatts.
Oh.
Mine
Actually,
mine
no.
was Toby
Jimmy
Keith.
Buffett. Jimmy Buffett was my
that's
first.
Were you
one.
were you blasting Life as a Highway for the whole 4 hours of your RV?
Sure
Like,
Jimmy
was.
Buffett was your first one?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like as a
At
kid at
Toyota Park?
at Alpine.
Oh, Alpine. That
Yeah.
he'd be awesome at Alpine.
Yeah, we used to go every year.
It's a
It was really
major
fun.
regret of mine that I never got to see him.
Oh, I see rap.
I never saw him either. Yeah.
You got it? We got that. Oh, let's go.
Oh,
Is
Nikki.
it playing my music here?
Well, if you
Bum-ba-dum-bum.
Do you
could-
want it on mute or
Yeah,
what?
if you can mute
Might
it.
as well be
Okay.
reading your diary out
We'll
loud.
get
Yeah,
flagged.
Jesus.
I love that we're putting you on the spot right here. So it's like,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Another great song though.
yeah, you got to go to.
You got to like play it through. I mean, they really take you on a journey here.
Let me see which one it says that the. It looks like the fourth slide.
Okay. Oh.
It'll
Fourth?
tell you your top song. So that's it. I
gosh.
played.
I got to my number one artist,
Who's that?
Tyler Childers.
Oh,
Great one.
Yeah.
you Montana.
Oh, number 2, Zach Bryan.
Wow.
Shout out Bree.
Okay,
Taylor Swift.
3 for 3.
classic.
Kelsey Ballerini.
Okay,
got some-
Was I going through a breakup? Oh my God.
maybe that was when you broke up
Number
with the
5.
RV.
Yeah. Blink 182. What?
They're
That's-
back.
Yeah, you were
back.
playing.
It's
you were
just, I'm
playing I
like,
Miss
this
You
is like a little
from
bit
your
of
RV about your
self-discovery
home.
here.
I miss you.
I don't know.
Your top 5 is actually pretty solid.
Hello
Yeah, that's
there.
actually not
And
embarrassing.
I'm
Not at
so
all.
sorry.
Oh, top songs: Feathered Indians,
Great
Hey
song.
Driver,
Hey driver.
Cruel Summer, All Yorin, and If You Go Down, I'm Going Down Too.
Oh, okay, Dave,
All
what do
right.
we got?
I guess.
It goes by months, so this all makes sense because I saw all these people in these months. Tedeschi Trucks number 1, peak listening month April. Ryan, I saw him. Grateful Dead 2, peak listening month May. Whiskey Myers for country February. That's probably when I was watching Yellowstone. Little Stranger, they're like a reggae-ish, Sublime type band, and then Tame Impala.
All right, I have mine from Apple.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well,
The knockoff
do it?
version
maybe
over
just tell
here.
me off air or something so we got Apple Music.
It's like green text.
Yeah,
Apple
he's
Music.
got the TJ Maxx version over
Yeah,
here. No,
okay.
go ahead. No,
Dave's
go
just-
ahead.
No, it's
We love
fine.
TJ Maxx. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Zach Bryan was my number 1. Sonic Yogi, which is like a weird thing that I just fall asleep to help me fall asleep because I can't shut my brain off, so I have to put something on. So I listen to it like literally every night. Sam Barber, who's like, if you would like Sam Barber, you should
Really?
look up Sam
Okay.
Barber. Tedeschi Trucks,
Write it down.
Sturgill Simpson. That's my top 5. Yeah.
You got one, Danny?
I just got Spotify last month. So
Oh, all
it's not gonna be
right, so
very
it's
accurate.
skewed.
Oh, so you're an Apple Music guy then too.
Lance, you got one?
I'm also an Apple Music guy.
Oh, damn. You and Chief.
I just lost my Spotify account. Brutal.
Did you?
Sorry to hear that, Lance.
Damn.
I'm still on someone's random Spotify account. I mean, he's my friend. He used to work for the Bears, and now he works for the Browns. And I'm like the 5th member of their family or whatever it is. And like if I ever got locked out of it, I would not be able to.
He's gonna be like,
get back
why
in.
is Taylor Swift showing up in my rack?
It's like what? Anyways, shout out Drew Davidson.
I still
Love you.
have a random ESPN login from college that I got from a buddy that he got from someone else, and I'll join fantasy football leagues or whatever, and so many people have this insider password for ESPN. It'll be like 13 random people that have logged just because you had to pay the $2 for ESPN Insider, and none of us had that in college, and I still have that password.
That used to be a site that I would go to multiple times a day, every day. I don't think I've been on ESPN.com in 7-8 years.
I do it just to
Oh,
check
really?
scores
Yeah.
like immediately.
I
That's
will.
it. I don't read
Will you?
articles or anything.
Yeah. And I'll look at the sidebar. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
top
what
stories.
I do.
Yeah.
You know, see what's going on.
I went there
I'll just
yesterday
glance
because I
at
was
it.
like, what the hell are they going to ask me today? I better be. I better be.
Oh, did you know this
on
was a sports
top
show?
of this.
Is that what you thought we were talking
Ooh.
about?
We should.
No, but it just couldn't sound stupid.
Yeah. All right, Lauren. In-season tournament. Who you got?
Don't
Yeah.
I was saying,
And
Lauren.
that's enough for today. Thanks so much for having me.
All right then, Lauren. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah, it was
this was
fun.
awesome.
Where could people find your stuff?
Just at L Screeden.
L
Is that so
Screeden.
lame?
C-R-
On
not at all.
everything.
DAN?
Plug the
L
soch.
SCREEDEN.
Plug the soch.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. We'll do some sports here. All right, so we touched on it and we talked about it a lot on Tuesday's episode, but here we go. We got to finish up about the Blackhawks, obviously the Corey Perry situation. Do you want to start with Davidson's statement because that's where we kind of left off, or I don't know where you're at.
Yeah, did you guys watch the press conference?
I saw the clips. I wasn't able to.
Okay, so I watched the whole thing actually right from the seat I'm in right now. I feel like Davidson's still kind of a mystery as a person, you know, like he hasn't been around that long. He doesn't do a lot of public interviews or public appearances. The one we had with him, he was, I would say, pretty buttoned up. He was like choking back tears at different points. Like you could tell that he was rattled. I thought he did a great job. You know, like he dispelled the rumors, and then really kind of had to deflect on everything else, I would assume, for like legal purposes. But my whole issue with that was the timeline, because there was nothing that he said in that press conference that couldn't have been said 48 hours earlier. And so you just let that, you know, the kid and his mom twist in the wind and let the internet run wild for 2 days while you're doing nothing. You know, like I know they had to do an investigation, but you could have addressed that. The other thing, I'm interested to see what you guys think about this too. Why is he giving the press conference? Like they announced officially that it was a workplace issue between Perry and another person employed by the Blackhawks. That's not a hockey thing. If you want to have, you know, so that to me should have been Danny, Jamie, and HR, probably Jamie, an HR person and a lawyer or whatever, give the statement, face the media, and then Davidson has to come in behind it and talk about like the hockey side of it and kind of own the fact, which he did in that press conference, that like, yeah, like I signed him and we, you know, his actions did not line up with our homework, which I was kind of surprised by too, because there's always kind of whispers about Perry and like he has like an on ice reputation, which is great. I love that, but I've always kind of heard things that he's like, you know, he's just like one of the like, this guy's a fucking dickhead, you know, like the guy that, so but that's what Davidson said. So I thought that they kind of, I don't know, they threw him out there to the wolves when it was not his decision. He didn't run the process of the investigation. And I thought that was inappropriate and kind of cowardly from the brass.
Now, was it something where he vouched for this guy? Because, remember that was a thing with, who was the guy that Bears signed, and he immediately fucked up and they cut him right away. I forget who it was. It was a domestic issue. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was like, that the team vouched heavy to get this guy. I don't know why.
Well, how would Davidson be able to vouch for him? So, Davidson signed him. That part of it
but that's what I'm saying. Where it took a lot for. I think it was Angelo who was like, "Hey, we really like this guy," and the McCaskies are like, no tolerance for that kind of past behavior, and then the guy did it again. So you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I can't remember the fucking guy.
All right, so it's not like this has been a perfectly clean organization on this front, even since the administration change. We'll say there's been a few rumblings, a few dismissals. But things it's been dealt with quietly, and this one, is a player, so it's obviously going to be more public. I just thought that they handled the whole thing terribly, and I don't. While Davidson did sign him, and he said, "Hey, his behavior did not match the the reports that we got on him before we signed him." Basically, hey, we did our due diligence, and he's never been with this team, and so you just kind of ask around, and they made a play to get a veteran guy, but this is not. I don't know. I wasn't surprised to hear this, I guess.
Has he ever been suspended for anything off the ice, or
I don't believe so, no.
Or any legal troubles of any?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So that's not on Davidson. Come
right.
on.
No, thank you, Lance. It was Ray McDonald. Remember that situation? 2015, the Bears signed Ray McDonald to a
for the 49ers
deal.
guy?
Yes. And they signed him March 24th, 2015, and on May 25th, 2015, he was released after being arrested on charges of domestic violence when he already had a situation the year prior. And it was like, hey, we really want this guy.
Yeah.
Was it Emery or Pace at that time? 15? I can't.
I don't think it would have been Pace at that time.
It would have been Emery.
Yeah.
No, Emery was fired. Emery was only 13 and 14.
Pace was John Fox, but did he? So maybe whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was Pace.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where it's like, hey, we want this guy. This is John Fox. Everyone, the coaches vouch for him.
That to me seems like a little bit more because he had a record.
Yes. Yeah. So it's different. But that's what I'm saying. That's the only way where I could see that being okay is if it was like Davidson's like, hey, we like this guy. Maybe there was scuttlebutt that they didn't like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Maybe not criminally, but we're
Yeah, that to me.
I'm just trying to look through.
Sure,
through
but at the same time, it's just who's ever. He wasn't dismissed because of his on ice play. He was dismissed because he, violated corporate team policy with his behavior, and that to me is above Kyle Davidson's pay grade. So I do, and it's like that's. It's like that old JFK expression. I think it came from him, where it's like, victory has 1,000 fathers and defeat is an orphan. And it was like, when you win the lottery, everybody's on stage, everyone's doing media, everyone's wants to be involved. Hey, look how many tickets we sold and all this. Everyone wants a credit. Well, when things go badly, it's like, hey, that was you. You go do that. And that to me is wrong. And it was like, and I guarantee you that the timeline of statements released, all that kind of stuff, he wasn't in charge of that, Davidson. I'm sure, he was not the final say. So who's ever making the decisions and running the investigation and doing all the shit, they should be the one to face the music, because that's your policy, not his.
Can I say another thing too? And you crucify me if you want, because obviously the organization, it's tough to defend them.
Terrible reputation.
Right. Yeah, tough to defend. But here's the thing. The Bears had a situation where something nefarious happened, and we never got the answer, right? So, and it, largely, it's just whatever. It's accepted. So the organization, the Bears, they got rid of the guy. He's gone.
Yep.
Hawks did the same thing. Where it blew out of proportion is when Bedard,
correct,
to protect him. Yes.
Yes.
So initially,
No, that's how
I don't really
they did
see that they did anything wrong, but they should have been quicker to defend Bedard. But then I think it's a catch-22 where you're like,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because what did he say yesterday? What did Davidson say in that press conference that he could not have said before? So that to me is the difference, because when it was Alan Williams, I think you're referring to, if they deny those allegations and he's guilty of something else, and there's whispers about that, then they kind of have to be like, oh, well, no comment. Okay. So I think you could have said exactly what he said yesterday and get out in front of that and protect your kid and his family, a married woman, whatever, who has moved, like the whole family moved here. Like it was just like, come on, do the right thing and get out in front of this. And, I'm getting messages from people I haven't talked to in years. What's going on with Bedard and his mom and Barry? Like people it was everywhere. This is not just like some weird internet rumor. It was literally everywhere. And I thought they let him down. And that was my let Bedard down.
And when did the rumor start though? Do you remember? Like, when was the first time someone texted you, hey, any truth to this?
I think that started whispering that Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about when I saw it.
Yeah. And then it picked up steam. Like they kind of, when they released that cryptic statement that he's been dismissed from the team, that's when it really like started gaining traction on the internet in a big way. So it's like, to me, it's like you probably should have been able to, I don't know, they just felt like they dropped the ball on the Bedard side of things. I am happy that they didn't just be like, well, Perry, he's a player and we're paying him $4 million and, we're going to sweep this under the rug and do it quietly. I'm glad that they're taking some steps in that regard for sure.
Yeah.
So that's a very for me, that's a very positive thing. Like, hey, we got this guy. We clearly made a mistake in evaluating his character. He fucked up in a real way. I'm sure that those details will come out.
Yeah.
And they got rid of him. He cleared waivers just as we're doing this, so his contract's officially terminated. He's no longer a member of the Blackhawks.
Are they on the hook for him?
Financially, I don't think so, because I think they would argue. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Because now the way it works is the NHLPA has 60 days to file a grievance about the Hawks or against the Hawks
for the termination.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Did he get picked up?
Yeah. It would happen in the next day or two.
Gotcha.
So, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I would be surprised. I mean, he hasn't been bad on the ice. He had 9 points in 16 games or whatever it is. But yeah. So I mean, he was always a mercenary. He was on a 1-year deal. But like I'm glad that it was like, hey, what he did was inappropriate, whatever it was. We don't stand for that here anymore. We're getting rid of him. My problem was, my two biggest issues were how they didn't defend their innocent, okay, and meaning Bedard and his mother, and that they sent Davidson out to face, when it wasn't his call. I thought that was cowardly.
Yeah. Listen, obviously we just addressed the Davidson part, but the first part, it's like some of these rumors, it's just like they're so absurd that I don't know the line where you have to fucking defend it.
I think it's a volume thing.
Yeah.
It was
like, that is so funny.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
What if Davidson didn't say anything yesterday? Because when he said that, like, these are gross, they're completely untrue, and and he squashed it. Okay. Mm-hmm. There are still people like making jokes and like taking digs, but nobody thinks it's true anymore. I
know, but that's largely all it is from the get-go, was people making jokes.
No.
And you actually think people believe this?
Yes.
I think a lot of people probably. I think
people were reveling in the jokes and thinking that it could be true. I think that
there's a non-zero chance for sure.
I think people were people that I know personally, like my friends, were texting me, not just Twitter nonsense, being like, "Did this happen?" And I had other people in like the national media being like, what have you heard? What do you know? Like, people were genuinely, because you had people
curious,
but people had like, well, there were like screenshots floating around and be like, oh, this guy from this team, and they would black out the name, like people like Incarcerated Bob, who have like, he leaks things and whatever. I've been blocked by Incarcerated Bob for I think 10 years, but that's But it's like those types of accounts that have big followings that are in the the news breaking side of things. They were adding fuel to that fire, and I think there was a lot of people who were like thinking that was the issue, and it was because of the timeline of events where they had just had the mom's trip. And and it was just
for sure.
And
but I still don't. I think people are like, no, wait, actually, right?
No,
it was
Dave. I'm telling you, I was in the weeds on this stuff.
I'm obviously I'm with Dave here. I don't, but I believe you.
I'll show you my phone that I'm getting texts and messages from people all over the country, being like, "Did this actually happen?" Like, and they weren't joking.
They're asking. They're like, they don't think it happened. They're like, no, wait, right? It's not like
I'm telling. Look at. I don't. You guys weren't in it. As much, and you guys, you guys are not the hockey people. You're not in the hockey Twitter. You're not in it. There are certainly assholes who are just making jokes. But what was
this? Where was the smoke that actually had like a definitive?
He was saying just the timing of it with the mom trip and all of that.
And then when you see like
that he actually got
that,
released,
there's screenshots of text conversations out there saying like, we're hearing that this is true. And I have friends across that work for different teams across the league that were like, "What are you hearing this? Because our people think it happened." Like things like that. Okay, so it was a real thing that people thought, and that's the thing that they should have stepped in front of, because that kid is 18, and his mother moved the whole family across the continent to be a part of the Blackhawks. You're a family business, is what you're trying to be. You better stand up for your family.
Now, on this is solely to play devil's advocate, like in reference to Ed and I thinking that it's just. It is kind of a funny rumor. Come on.
I don't think it's funny at all.
It's if you saw that out there and it had nothing.
I think you're scummy if you do that.
You are a complete and total fucking scumbag.
Then what's funny about it?
What's funny? It's the absurdity of it. The star player, and I would imagine that this kid's got a whole management team, his agency, the Blackhawks, Kyle Davidson, his teammates, know if he does or not, being like, "Yo, man, you're the superstar. You're going to be getting a lot of shit. You got to brush this off, or laugh it off, or find some self-deprecation or something. Otherwise, like it's going to eat you alive. You just got to kind of laugh at it because this is the life that you're living now. Heavy lies the crown.
Sure, but that's what you do going forward, because it's spun so far out of control. And there will be people who aren't following it. They're further away from it than you guys, but they saw the tweets and they saw the thing, and it was out there, and it was wildly publicly speculated that they don't follow up on the story, and they just heard it and it's true. And they're going to think that part forever. And I don't know.
That's fucked up.
Maybe I'm more sensitive about this. That's somebody's fucking name. That's somebody's mother.
What I was saying, if I'm like perusing along the internet, and just to throw random names out there, like I saw Blake Snell banged Fernando Tatis Jr.'s mom, so they released Blake Snell. The Padres did. Like I would see that and I'd be like, that's kind of funny.
Listen.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen,
like I wouldn't perpetuate.
Here's
the
the difference. Here's the
difference.
That. Like, and I even feel that way too, because I'm not laughing at it. Something about when you meet these people, like you do, like we met. He's a kid. And he was 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his mom's a nice lady.
She was
like
very
you know what I mean?
nice,
Yeah. And like they're embracing it. They're in our city. You want them to fucking not go through bullshit. So I get your sensitive for the topic. I am towards this situation, but like I can't deny that like when the old Delonte West rumors are going on, that like people are having jokes.
That's
so
my
why
point.
I think it's like,
that's my point.
Let me offer this counterpoint. That was an open relationship, was it not?
Who?
That they were actually dating, Delonte West.
I have no idea. I don't believe so. I think Delonte West denied it.
Okay, so that was like 15 years ago or something.
Yes.
I still don't know what happened. So I still kind of thought that he was dating LeBron's mom.
I don't really
know. So that's the point. Okay, so I'm being genuine with that. Like you say, you don't know if it was true or not. You think he denied it, whatever. I thought it was true, and I don't like that. And it's also, to me, there is a difference where the Bedard parents are still married.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So like that's what I mean. Like you're really like,
How would you like to have that conversation with your wife?
I think family should very seriously, and these
Definitely.
people are just reveling in the fact that you know what?
But
Let's make up a
dude-
rumor that can impact somebody's family's happiness.
Dude, listen,
It is that serious.
Online people are fucking dicks, man. You know what I mean? Like that's just the
They
crux
are.
of the issue.
I would love to find the kid who started that rumor. It
But
was
that's
probably
what they
some kid.
do. Like someone could start a rumor tomorrow. Chief was at January 6th. You know what I mean? Like that's what they fucking
People
do.
did try to do that
Yeah, people.
because that guy kind of looked at me, poking his face in through the
But
window.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. There's no fucking line anymore with the internet. It sucks.
Yeah.
But it's the reality.
I think it is the team's job to protect, especially an 18-year-old kid and his family.
Absolutely
That is
there.
the team's job. And what they said yesterday, Davidson's comments yesterday, I thought he was perfect in that. And I thought he could have done it 2 days earlier when this was really gaining steam and making everything.
So if they do this on Saturday, no harm, no foul.
Correct.
Okay.
'Cause
So
that-
it's just them doing it 3 days later is a problem.
Yeah, you let
Let
him
it
twist. You
stew.
let him twist
Yeah.
in the wind and ruin somebody's name for
Gotcha.
forever. You
But
nip,
you also-
nip that shit in the bud.
I would-
it was picking up big. And
Was it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Then
I would assume that he had spoken to, like his prized asset's family almost immediately.
Who's he?
Davidson and the Blackhawks brass as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
and like, hey, we got your back. Like for
But they
reason
didn't have
X,
his
Y,
back.
Z, we can't say anything right now.
What
Like,
were you saying? You're on the social streets.
I'm
You were gonna
I'm
say
just trying
something?
to nitpick here.
Yeah, but I don't think you should. I think you're looking for something to defend how they handled it.
They
when
fucked up,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm just trying to think of
Don't.
maybe there was a why.
Because sometimes it's that obvious.
Yeah.
And they fucked
Yeah,
up.
you're right,
You don't
you're
have
right,
to
you're
like,
right.
so what about this? What about that? And like, no, it's right there. They fucked up.
Yeah, you can't control the internet, but I guess you can tame it. I think Chief is saying the fact that the Blackhawks let the rumors spin that out of control without saying anything, the damage is already done at that point.
But like,
What?
Because if you put that out, like by ripple effect, that decreases the amount of jokes and memes already.
And it already has.
Right.
Since yesterday's press conference
So-
at 4:00, it already has died down.
Yes, exactly.
So if they do that, so that press conference was on Tuesday. If they do that on Sunday, then we're not sitting in this same situation. It was like, hey, we have an issue, a workplace issue with Perry. We're doing the investigation. In the meantime, these rumors are disgusting and they're not true.
Yeah.
And and then it wouldn't have spun out of control because it was gaining steam to the point that I was getting texts
Yeah,
and DMs
I
and
guess
tweets.
it wouldn't have turned into a wildfire.
Correct.
yeah. I
Yeah.
guess my point is like, I don't know when to jump into it. You know, like I don't know if there's I don't know the meter where it's like, all right, we saw our 100th tweet. It's time to jump in
No,
now.
I don't-
Yeah,
I don't
right.
think there's
Sure,
a
but
meter, man.
That's a
maybe this is also devil's advocate, but on that exact note, maybe there is a point to, like, where it's you see these rumors out there, you come out and give a definitive, like, you're planting a stake in the ground
Yeah.
statement. That sounds like someone who employed a player who's banging his star asset's mom.
No, it doesn't. If you say what you said yesterday,
Devil's advocate again.
don't do that anymore because you're looking for.
I'm not looking for it. Like
No, you're
that.
nitpicking.
I'm not
you said-
nitpicking. I'm trying to get into the minds of them to see how they came to this bad decision.
My point is that whatever was going on in their minds was wrong.
I'm not saying it wasn't wrong. I'm trying to say I'm trying to get to what the actual process was. Do you see what I'm saying? Like maybe they were thinking that, like, because waiting like they did, awful move.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of why they did that. I'm not saying the reason for why they did that is the good reason or the correct reason. I'm just looking for the reason. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
but I'm saying, I hear you, but every time you do that, it's just like, well, maybe it gives them an excuse, and it's like
Okay,
there are
I
no
see, yeah.
excuses. There are no excuses. So, and it's like, they're supposed to be this. They rely on data and analytics and all this shit. We're savvy. We're the team of the future. All this
Cutting
shit.
edge.
Like we're looking for the new audience and new ways to reach a younger crowd. Well, this was all over the fucking place on the internet, which is where you're trying to reach people, and you're trying to be so savvy on the internet, and you can't realize. And I'm tired of like this whole thing where it's like, well, Twitter's not real. Twitter's fucking real. That is real life. And if
It's unfortunate, but
it
it's true.
is. But
Yeah.
that is that is a major platform with 1 million people that fans engage with sports probably on that
To a
platform.
degree. I mean, like Danny said too, like there's definitely like fucking dads sitting at home being like, wait, what? Like who? What is going on here? What?
I guarantee my dad doesn't have any.
Yeah,
clue
there's
about
and
this.
that's
Your
like,
dad especially. My dad did. He's not really on Twitter. He's not on Twitter at all, actually. But he had heard about it. I have like, it's right, but like,
so. All right, if it doesn't
and that's
involve,
also not like the majority of the people who are consuming their content necessarily.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
All right, so if it doesn't involve Bedard, are you fine with the way they handle it? If it doesn't involve another player,
say that again. I'm
if
sorry.
it doesn't involve Bedard and it doesn't involve
Korchinski.
Hold on.
not even
Hold on.
not even a player, it doesn't involve a player.
I'm confused on his question. So just restate it for
If
me.
it doesn't involve a player, are you okay with how they handle it? Besides that,
Like the rumors,
like there's no rumor. Like it's like all right, there was something happened with Corey Perry, and they just
get fucking rid of him.
Yeah, they just let it
No,
die
I
off.
like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like.
I know, but they don't address it. Like there's no press conference. There's nothing like that.
and they just let
like
these
kind of
rumors
like-
persist.
No, if there was no rumors.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
he did something stupid.
Yes, he did something stupid.
They release him.
That's
yeah,
it.
that's fine.
That's fine. All right. So
Yeah.
You're
there's-
saying no statement.
Yes.
Like just let it.
No, I mean, because they would have had to have given some sort of a statement that there's an investigation, that there was a workplace. And you can't just cut a guy that you signed for $4 million 3 months ago, and then he's been good, relatively, and then you healthy scratch him and then kick him off the team and terminate his contract. That people would be like, what the fuck? So you would have to say something, but you don't,
Bears never did, and it kind of worked. Kind of.
No, they never shit. I mean, they did like their initial press conference.
They
They're
did.
like,
well, what
he's-
did they do? They
yeah, they're like-
dispelled the major rumors about FBI involvement and the Peanut Tillman thing. Like they
Peanut
squashed
Tillman
all
was
of it. Poles got up there and squashed all of that stuff.
Tom Pelissaro and all these insiders have to come out and squash rumors that Peanut Tillman is busting down the doors. Of
I mean, it's
Palace
just
Hall.
like that's what I mean. Like, how absurd! Like, at what point do we just let fucking the absurdity of people just go? That Peanut Tillman
That's-
busted down the fucking doors.
So I
It's
think
crazy.
I think you were saying like what's the line? Once 100 people say it,
Yes.
you can't perpetuate like nobody's on the internet's rumors. But I think once someone at least halfway credible starts talking about it,
Yeah,
it gets
okay.
on these like halfway credible, verified meme pages. Then it's like okay, like these people have like 500,000 followers. Maybe we should say something.
It was trending nationally. Bedard, Perry was trending not just hockey Twitter. Everywhere. It was a thing on TikTok, people doing like the Jack Mac videos about it. It
Yeah.
really was all over the place. And so we're talking millions of impressions.
No. I'm not talking about that anymore. I'm just saying in general, like just in general, the line. Like, what's the line?
Well, like if
I
Jack
said it
Mac
was
is
a
making a
volume
green
thing.
screen about it, then maybe it's time you speak up.
He's a-
Honestly,
yeah,
That's the
it's
good
getting
threshold.
posted on
Yeah.
on the main. Barstool has 15 million followers. You got to say something.
Did he
Right.
do one on it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was texting me about it
Oh,
yesterday.
really?
He's like, and it's not true, right? I'm like, no, it's not fucking true.
Yeah. No, listen, I got you.
Yeah.
got you.
I was there.
I stand corrected. It sounds like it was more wildfire than I thought.
Yeah.
But my point is like I don't know how we got here where it's like things that, because to me it's just so absurd. It's so absurdly like that. I don't know how we got here where everything
I think
is going to become a thing now.
I think sometimes, like, I'm trying to think of an example where it was so absurd and then it turned out to be true, And I do think that the way that they released that statement,
I mean,
I'm just thinking too.
there's been folklore forever about
No, but
Cal
no.
Ripken's fucking Iron Man streak.
Yeah,
about
Rafi Palmeiro. Yeah.
yeah, Kevin Costner was it?
Or Kevin
Oh,
Costner,
yeah. There's been rumors.
Turn out the lights or
Yeah,
whatever it
there's
was.
been rumors like this forever.
Right.
I love that rumor. That's a great rumor.
But they also, I think they made it worse when the rumors were out there and they released a cryptic statement about his conduct. And they're, putting him, I'm trying to, because that happened the day before.
Yeah.
And it was like that, the way, the timeline of the way that they responded to things was my problem.
Yeah.
And so I thought they should have, and again, this is a kid, an 18-year-old whose whole family has moved to the city to be part of, this organization
Yeah.
and this family business, and
Entire city.
And he is, and, and It's not just because he's a star. To me, it's more about it's his age. And like this was, talk about rumors. That 2009 to 15 team had a gazillion rumors where it was like, Patrick Sharp punched out Kane, and and then they had the Duncan Keith and
Sharp and Keith
Keith
they
stuff,
had all that stuff,
all those kind of rumors, and you know what, I didn't. They kind of just ignored those, for the most part, and that was like Dan Bernstein was saying it on The Score. You can I agree, but that was how that was a bad situation, and it was one of those things where. There was a fight, with that group around that time. And then the internet, so there was a kernel of truth, same as this, where there was a kernel of truth that Corey Perry did something fucked up. And people look at he just had the mom's trip. And so then it spreads, There was a kernel of truth that there was a fight involving Blackhawks players.
I never heard this. I'll
tell you
if you're afraid to say this, and because this is actually something we can talk about with the White Sox. Lucas Giolito was on a podcast. Locker room fights aren't always. I'd say most of the time they're not a bad thing. So like even if Corey fucking Crawford got in a fight with John Taves, I'm just throwing names out there. I don't buy that that's a bad thing. That's competitors. It depends on the of course. If it's wives or something involved,
that's a problem.
Much different.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, nice fucking pass, asshole, what the fuck, and you get
that stuff. Yeah,
happens.
Yeah.
You think whoever started the Bedard rumor has like the Twitter disclaimer under their tweet, like how they started COVID?
Just out of curiosity, I would love to know who it was. I would like just to know what he's thinking. Like, is he scared? Like, is he
that
he
guy?
proud of
They should,
himself?
but like, I mean, dude, fucking, a couple months ago, they were talking about how good Nancy Reagan sucked dick. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm like. You can't.
Throat goat.
Yes.
Wait, they called Nancy Reagan the throat goat?
That was like years ago. But
Is my point. Like, where it's like what?
But I think again, sure.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I also think there's a difference between referencing a myth about two dead people versus an 18-year-old kid's mother. I think that there's a difference. There's even a married mother. Like that. Like I don't know. People are so flippant about making jokes that like genuinely hurt people.
You're telling me you didn't laugh at the Delonte West, LeBron James rumors?
That's where it's like I did the rundown with Clem and Chaps. Clem and Chaps were laughing at the story, and I was like, I don't know, because I said, I weirdly feel like a more personal connection because I know that you
met him.
Yes.
The unfortunate truth is that he is a professional athlete. He is a public figure. He is a star. He's gonna be that way for hopefully 20 years, and this kind of shit's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
but
he's got to understand that.
I think what Chief's saying is he rejects the fact that like people treat people this way.
Oh,
which
no,
I understand.
definitely. Like,
yeah. Like I don't think that this is the way it is. I don't want that to be the way it is.
No, of course.
Right.
But,
so I'm going to say something.
Absolutely.
Right.
I hate it as well.
And you're definitely right. Like she came up. I was talking to somebody at the draft party, and she came up, and because I always call him like our beautiful boy or whatever. She's like, he's our beautiful boy. I'm like, he's our beautiful boy.
Yeah. And like even you telling me that story, I was like, oh yeah, like
Yeah, and she was so nice, and he seems like a really nice kid too, And it's
I
like
couldn't believe that he was like hockey's LeBron.
Yeah.
Just based on his personality, not even size or frame or anything.
Yeah,
like, he's just a nice
little guy.
He's right, and it's a lot of change, and you move across the country. You're now a millionaire. It's like you got a lot to.
You're talking Gretzky on fucking.
You're playing.
Yeah.
You're playing against guys that you've idolized.
100%. You're too close to home, and Dave's not wrong in aspects here. Like
I know, but it's like I know. But that's, I guess, like I understand all that too. My frustration is not necessarily with you guys. I do get frustrated. We're like, well, maybe the organization was thinking this and that, and like trying to like it's like making.
I'm not trying to rationalize for him. I'm not.
But that's how it comes across.
I'm just thinking like with the White Sox, I'm always constantly like, what led them to this stupidity? So I can get inside the brain, so I can like maybe offer advice on how to fix it.
That's crazy because you're the number one person whose brain I'd love to live in one day just to see what it's
Well,
like.
you know what I'm getting at then.
Yeah. Well,
I would just
yeah.
like to get in the brain
Yeah.
of like constant stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is like a fucking pinball machine. That's for sure.
I don't think that's true.
Hey, let's lighten it up here with Solo Stove. I don't know if you guys have heard. Snoop Dogg announced that he's done with smoke. It's over,
Get
Dave.
out of here. Come on.
He's
Really?
eliminating it, David. I don't know how the guy who urges to smoke every day could now be giving it up, but here we are. And it's because he is the Solo Stove's official smokesperson, the world's most popular smokeless fire pits. And obviously, it wouldn't be Snoop if he didn't drop it like it's hot, which is exactly what he's doing with the Snoop Stove, a limited edition bonfire pit. Designed by Snoop himself, each custom fire pit comes with the Going Smokeless bucket hat and a limited run of stickers. We got to get an order on that.
I just had like a thought where it's like, I bet you Snoop reached out to them to be the face versus the other way around, where he was probably at somebody's like backyard and saw one. It's like, damn, where's all that smell? Like, how and like he was like, I gotta get involved.
How'd that pit zero that smoke?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I could just see him being like mesmerized because it is mesmerizing. Where's that fucking smoke go?
don't
Where's
know.
the smoke
There's
go?
supposed to be smoke
There's
with
smoke.
fire.
That's the whole expression. Where there's smoke, there's fire. This is where there's fire. There's no smoke. It's crazy. It's backwards.
You could use this
It
in
blows your
like,
mind.
You could use this in the wilderness, like without being worried about attackers or anything. You're hiding from bobcats and mountain lions.
Yeah.
I know you like mountain lions.
Yep.
No smoke.
No
Run,
smoke.
don't walk to solostove.com to pick up the limited edition pit and join Snoop in going smokeless for good.
I love Snoop. And I love
He's,
Solo Stove.
he's one of my favorite.
I wish we
people
had one
ever.
right there. A little fireside chat because this office is so cold, and we'll all just sit around the fire. We'd probably chill out a lot more.
Yeah.
All right,
Probably.
what else we got? Bye week, and we vowed not to talk Bears
Not doing it.
after Monday Night Football. I could if we want to, but we could.
We don't have to do that. Ed.
Yeah, we could do something else.
Yeah.
College football?
Yeah.
I would love to talk about the Northwestern Wildcats. Can I give them a quick pat on the back?
Yeah, I feel like I've been waiting for you to do that, and you haven't been really doing it. You just refer back.
Yeah,
I
no.
told you guys it wouldn't be that bad.
No one. I mean, everybody knows, including all my friends that have played for Northwestern over the years and that are currently still associated. No one cares about Northwestern, so I'm not going to spend 20 minutes. However, I would like to give them all, every last player on that team, especially the coaching staff. David Braun deserved every ounce of that Coach of the Year. Considering the circumstances, 7-5, losing a bunch of transfers, having 2 people at every game. Like he never had coach at any position ever, and just getting thrown into the Big Ten. Pretty fucking cool.
After what they did last year,
yeah.
and the scandal that preceded the season, like late in the process,
Late July, yeah,
Right.
before the season started.
if you had told me that they're either going to win, were they 7?
7-5, yeah.
If you had given me the choice between they're going to win 7 or they're going to win 1,
You would have picked one.
I would have picked 1.
I mean,
So he did an incredible job.
because of the timing, it actually probably helped them a little bit. They did have like 4 guys transfer that would have been at least 2 starters, 4 guys who would have played a lot. But that also, like, a lot of the guys, they couldn't go anywhere. Like, where are they going to go?
Yeah.
If it would have happened in like May or earlier, they would have all been gone.
Yeah.
But so I knew that their offense was going to be pretty good. I did not think the defense was going to make this jump, but
Yeah,
if you would have told me three months ago, like, I'm back trending up on Northwestern. New
Well,
stadium, signed, sealed, and delivered. They're breaking. Ryan Field's almost gone.
they played their last game ever there.
Last game
Yeah.
ever there. We were hunting. I am sad that I
Missed
didn't.
that.
I've been to that stadium. It's 10, 25 years, probably about 75 times.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
75 games there, 3 a year probably. So I'm gonna miss it, even though it was the worst fucking stadium.
It
I'm
was
playing.
so bad.
So bad. But I loved it.
Yeah.
But everything's good. Huge game Friday for the basketball team too. Number 1 Purdue in Evanston. So I'm excited for Northwestern again. It feels good to be.
Wildcats Dave is back.
Wildcat Save is back.
Change the Twitter name.
It was very, very.
If you change the Twitter name, they're going to lose by 20.
I have already told them I won't do that.
Okay.
I've already
we
told
need you
them
to
I won't
promise
do
us,
that.
Dave.
Won't put your stink on.
I
this.
did, yeah. I told them I
Yeah.
wouldn't do that. So yeah,
They really told you don't do it?
Oh yeah. The football team did, yeah.
I love that.
But the basketball team, I don't really know anybody, but They did tell me yes.
They sat him down like an intervention style. We got to talk.
You guys will see enough Northwestern basketball games. They got like 3 guys that you guys would fucking love.
Boo Booey.
He's just a stud,
Yeah.
but he's like kind of stoic. They got this dude. He's a hillbilly. He might even be listening to the show. His name's Brooks Barnheiser. He is a hillbilly from central Indiana, like rural Indiana, and he is a fucking baller.
How big is he?
6'7".
Okay, I like it.
But he's like a point forward. He's awesome.
Hey, Dave, I will watch the game
And-
on Friday.
And then this other kid from Glenview.
Sounds like a young Larry Bird.
He's got an afro,
Yeah.
like a Jewish afro.
Okay.
And he's scrawny as fuck, and he is just a baller.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of tryhards. You guys
love
would-
tryhards.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a bunch of tryhards. You guys would like them.
Mm-hmm. I'll watch on Friday against Purdue.
Speaking of Northwestern, I don't know if we've brought this up before, but Dave, remember when you just smoked Chief behind the line?
Yeah. I did. Back in 2019, we did a video with Pat Fitzgerald. Rest in peace. And we threw on the pads. I tackled Chief behind the line of scrimmage and ran him over multiple times in Oklahoma's.
It should be noted too that Lincoln's hat game as well. Like this was, I think a lot of people expected Illinois to take another step this year, and they didn't.
Especially
Went
under
the wrong
Bielema.
way.
Bielema, you know what I mean? Like, and they
They
went.
have a first-round pick on defense.
Yeah,
Like they,
he won Player of the Year.
Newton.
Yeah.
They went 5-7. Northwestern goes 7-5. So, like all things considered, you're right.
Yeah.
He did deserve Coach of the Year. That program went up against a lot.
Their
credit to them.
quarterback. So they had the transfer from Cincinnati, who was in like, he started for Cincinnati with their good teams,
Yep.
and he got injured against, was it Nebraska? And he missed 3 games. They would have beat Iowa and they would have beat Nebraska, and they would have been playing in Indy this weekend against Michigan, which is absurd to think about.
Yeah, the Wrigley Field game.
Yeah, lost on like a 58-yard field goal or some shit.
Do you blame the Cubs for that?
Yes. No, Reinsdorf.
Fair. All right, I'm pumped for tomorrow's game, Washington, Oregon, Friday night. I like that
too.
it's got a Friday night slot.
Oh, then Dave, I won't be watching Purdue Northwestern.
You could get a second TV.
No.
That's fine.
He could.
It's at 8 p.m.
What time is the Pac-12 championship?
That's probably at like 8 p.m. too.
Yeah, I would assume 9.
That's the game I'm most excited for. Do you think people
That's 7.
So 5 Pacific.
How are they going to do that?
can someone explain to me, did somebody key get hurt that I'm just missing?
What do you mean?
How is Washington 9.5 points?
This happens. Remember when Florida and Bama faced off, and Bama was minus 9.5 in that Tebow year? It was Tebow's second year,
Yeah.
and I think
And Bama won that
yeah.
game. And they beat
and everyone's like, "How
Texas.
Florida's? They beat them?" Or like, how is this going on?
Was it that big of a gap?
Yeah, it was. I think it was exactly 9.5 as
Okay.
well.
That I am just, and I look, I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon won, but Washington's a good football team.
Yeah.
And even if it was like Oregon -3, 9.5 is a big line for 2 teams in the top 5 who have already played, and Washington got the better of them. And Washington's got NFL guys all over that roster. Like they're not a slouch. So it feels to me like I'm going to take Washington in the points because it's like everybody's on Oregon. Like it feels like everyone's on Oregon, and I've liked Washington all year. I'm zagging.
I'm a Penix guy. I like Washington. Obviously, I bet them in the regular season game.
Penix, Knicks. I'll go Penix.
Yeah, but the issue is you guys are both on Penix, so I think I
Right.
might hop on Oregon.
Fade Chief.
Unfortunately, yeah, Fade Chief is a real thing.
Yeah.
So now I'm actually feel pretty good.
Remember
about
when
Oregon.
Chief said the Bears' low point in the season was going to be 10 wins?
I got that wrong.
I was like, eef.
And if their coach doesn't go for it on 4th and 6 or whatever the fuck it was, it could be a totally different. game.
No, I know. Look, but I think they're pretty evenly matched teams. I think a 9.5 feels like a big number to me. So I think that Washington is for sure in the number. Would not surprise me if they won outright.
Yeah. All right. Besides that, Oklahoma State, Texas, 15.5 point favorites. I don't see an upset happening there.
No.
North Central College is playing the University of Wisconsin lacrosse in the second round of the Division III tournament.
Okay.
Southern Illinois plays
Yep.
Idaho in the second round of the D1 AA.
There
tournament.
you go. Nice.
The Vandals, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They got a great stadium out there.
Eastern almost beat Kansas. You see that last night?
No, I did not.
In basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
What?
It was the final. They only lost by I think
Define almost.
Hold on. People were sending me screenshots, but they only lost by I think less than 10.
Oh, wow.
11 points. At one point it was like a 4-point game before half.
That's wild.
Who do you want, from an entertainment purpose in the playoff?
Yeah,
I like the one you said, yeah.
So Georgia should be signed, sealed, and delivered regardless of what happens. In my opinion, you win 2 in a row. And I know they won't factor that in, but they should.
They should.
Personally, I'm at the point where I want Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and I want whoever wins the Pac-12 championship. I'm sorry to Florida State. That's not fair. I recognize that, but that's where I'm at.
I think Ohio State is better than Florida State, even if the quarterback doesn't get hurt. So, and yeah, this is another thing too. Everyone has just dismissed Ohio State they can't get in. Oregon's 11-1. Ohio State has a better loss. I know the Pac-12 is a good league, but Ohio State also beat Notre Dame on the road. Notre Dame, I think they finished 9-3. They have plenty. They beat Penn State. Ohio State's got a resume. I don't know why. That scenario that you laid out is probably it feels impossible at this point for Ohio State to get in. And I don't think it should be impossible.
I don't think it is impossible, man. I think those suits are up there, and they're punching in numbers, and they're getting the calculators going. They're looking at projections. They're looking at. I think that's the thing.
There's no way they're taking Ohio State over a Big 12 champion Texas.
That's the argument.
Yeah,
because Texas is the wild card. But then I guess it's how much do you value Bama, right? That's their best win.
Bama is so much better now than they were in week 1, too. Or week 2 or whatever that was. Tommy Rees fixed Milroe. Milroe looks like a pretty good quarterback now. And
who's Texas lost? They lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Is okay, so by that logic
that's what I mean.
One loss to Michigan is way more valuable than a loss to Oklahoma.
32 teams and run off.
They should executive order that right now.
We'll speed it up.
Check it out. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then how do you're gonna keep Bam? I don't know, dude. All I know is
this is a year where I don't really want chaos. Usually I root for chaos. This year I want to see Georgia, Michigan, the winner of the big Pac-12 rather, and then I think I'd probably like to see Texas. That would be...
That's a good blend.
Yeah. Not that they deserve it more, but I think that's what I'd like to see.
So you said so yours is mine, except Texas instead of Ohio State?
Just from
What if Iowa beats Michigan?
Come on.
And listen, if Oregon wins and they go Texas and Ohio State, I won't cry for Argentina for the Pac-12.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would be happy with that.
I also feel like I'm sorry to the Pac-12 it's been my favorite league to watch this year.
I agree. That's why it kind of hurts me to say. I feel dirty saying that,
but you shouldn't, because the Pac-12 doesn't even care about the Pac-12.
True.
So fuck you guys. So you ruined college football. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited though. I love championship weekend. It's like a hunker down, make a big bowl of chili.
Dave, give us your 4, and then we could wrap this up.
Michigan, Georgia, then I like Texas and the winner of Pac-12.
So same as me.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, that's got. Yeah.
The only reason I don't want Ohio State is because, to me, it's almost I like the idea that Michigan Ohio State was a playoff game in and of itself.
Yeah, but there's something about having Ryan Day's face in there that is enjoyable.
That's true.
Because it's not enjoyable.
No, I agree with that.
There's something about having Ryan Day's face in there instead of Sarkisian's. You know what I mean?
That was that Ohio State Michigan game was awesome.
It's great.
It was a great game, but this is so inside Barstool, it occupies too much of my brain. To me, Ohio State's dead. Portnoy killed them. Portnoy, the images of him and Ev and all that. I just think Ohio State, you haven't beaten Michigan in 3 years or whatever. You can't. So I'd rather see a fresh team in there, which would be the Pac-12 champion for me, and Texas if they win.
All right. You guys got anything? You got a pick or no? You're not
No, I think I'd be rolling with you, Eddie. I think that would be
I'll
exactly what
say-
I want. I think I'd like to see that again.
It'd be so
Why not?
so controversial.
Dan, you're the tiebreaker.
I'm just fading Chief.
Well, that's you can't fade me. This is what you want to see, not what you think will happen.
I
what
want to see you
want.
lose.
I'm not betting anything.
They just want to see you lose in life.
Are you still suspended?
I did bet the Bears.
They covered.
They won outright.
They won outright.
So yeah.
All right, then. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for watching. I should say, I got Mount Carmel coach Jordan Lynch coming on tomorrow on Dog Walk or next Friday. I'm not really sure. But credit to all the state champion winners, too.
I shook his hand.
I didn't know that was him until you just said
I didn't
that,
know
Ed.
that was Jordan Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
Why did
would-
you say that, Ed?
I would have been way more excited to talk to him.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have just looked at his sweatshirt that said MC on it.
I saw the MC,
yeah.
but like it's like a high school football coach,
Honestly?
versus Jordan Lynch as a high school football coach. It hits different. It's a
I
Heisman
give
finalist.
permission for everybody to rip into me for this. For some reason, I thought it was Montini Catholic. I was like, Montini, what the fuck's he got the
that
Montini
classic
Catholic?
brown.
That's Montini's colors
Montini
too.
has the same colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a little,
I-
different tint of
And
blue.
it
No,
looked, he was wearing like a baseball hat. It wasn't like football. He looked like a baseball coach.
Did you
to
talk
me.
high school football or did you talk a little northern?
We talked mostly high school football, but
Okay.
we talked a little northern too.
Okay.
Because his Heisman class was him, Jameis, and Johnny Football, and there were more, but like those are three of them.
Manti?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the same. year.
Manti and Johnny football were.
That was the year before. That was the year
Okay,
Johnny
okay.
won. So
Did
this
you
was the year
talk-
after the
talk
year
that-
Johnny didn't win.
That
Okay.
Peach Bowl, Ed?
No, it was the Orange Bowl.
Or the
wasn't
Orange
it?
Yeah,
Bowl,
we didn't
yeah.
get into the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
We'll keep it positive.
The
for
only
him.
positive play they ran was the fake punt.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
remember.
Yeah.
Here, I got that sent to me from my mom yesterday.
Wow, White Sox.
That's
Dave.
the article that you said Rieger, that little cat torturer.
He was
That
the
I
guy
just-
in Don't Fuck with Cats, right?
Yeah, he was the guy. Yeah.
He's the one updating doesthedogdie.com.
Yeah.
I have to read this. This is White Sox Dave in the Daily Herald. It was my friend. If you don't, there's the background of that story I've told on here before. That he said he met White Sox Dave, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I was in the Daily Herald." Like that was
That's
the
not.
first thing he said.
That's
White Sox Day was in the Daily Herald?
Yeah.
In the wanted section?
I'm reading it. Should I read the article?
it's long and boring. You can though.
I'll read it. It's not that long. We got it. We're over time.
Did
but
they use a picture, a thumbnail image?
They got a picture
they
of
got a
him.
picture.
What picture?
Goatee Dave. Goatee Sox
Goatee
Dave.
Dave. Is that a new one?
Can I go pee again?
Yeah,
I
you
don't,
can
I don't
go
want to
on.
listen to this.
If you want to miss out on
What a
Goatee
piece of
Dave.
shit. You got Dave in the fucking. His
What
weak
year
bladder.
is it? 2009?
All right, so here's the headline: Tigers Williams catching on. Senior relishes role behind the plate for Wheaton Warrenville South. After a year of varsity experience behind the plate, Wheaton Warrenville South catcher David Williams is catching on. Williams knew the Tigers had an opening at catcher last year after Paul Pasialis graduated and moved on to Taylor, Indiana University. The then junior approached Wheaton Warrenville South coach Joe Kish and expressed an interest. The sturdy 5'9" athlete,
Pat Bev was ahead of his time.
5 what?
5'9".
athlete
Oh, no.
Program heights.
sized up the situation and decided catcher was worth a try. Every year we have a preseason meeting with Coach Kish to see where we're at, Williams said. I stood up and said I thought I'd work out well as a catcher. He had the same idea. My build is more prototypical of a catcher than an outfielder. I love this. Williams adapted well enough last spring to become an honorable mention all-area selection. During the Illinois High School Baseball Coaches Association Summer League season, he was chosen for a junior showcase game at Stevenson, which featured players from DuPage Valley Conference and other leagues around the Chicago area. After a year of working on fundamentals, Williams said, it's a lot more natural to me. If he had a different body type, Williams might have been a member of the Tigers' solid pitching staff.
This guy was just ripping into me, wasn't he?
This is my favorite article of all time.
If you almost went pee.
Oh, my
If I had a
God.
different body type, Williams might have been a member of the Tigers' solid pitching staff. I caught when I was younger, Williams said, but on my traveling teams, I was a pitcher and outfielder. I've been pitching from age 10 on. I caught one inning freshman year, but that was it. During last year's Summer League game, Williams got a trial as the team's closer. He has the arm arm strength for the job, but maybe too valuable as a catcher to see full-time duty. The Tigers have no shortage of pitching candidates behind ace Nick Brown. The solid staff includes Matt Foltz, Brogan Gable, Anthony Nevins, and Nick Egan. Still, especially with the DVC going to longer series, there may be a spot for Williams in the bullpen. We're pretty much playing that by ear, Williams said. I love pitching.
Things may change. Things may change for Williams if his body type changes.
Yeah. If I hit a growth spurt.
If you had my growth spurt, you should be in the major leagues.
I would
I
be.
mean, this guy did an
And the
amazing
NFL.
job of just calling you fat without saying you're fat.
Just, hold on, there's a couple more blurbs here, and then we'll wrap it up. Meanwhile, Williams has improved his ability to block pitches in the dirt as a result of offseason drills and experience. He started for Wheaton Warrenville South during the summer and got some time behind the plate with his traveling team, although he primarily was a right fielder. Williams said he likes having a finger on the pulse of the game. He also relishes opportunities to show off his arm.
No.
Fact.
Duh.
He eliminated 15 of the 24 base runners who attempted to steal bases against him. That's 62.5%.
Is that good?
Fuck yeah, that's good. The next year,
Unbiased opinion.
2 guys stole on me.
Ooh, that is good.
And I bobbled both balls on the transfer.
And then we got to end with this though. There was a little thing. 5 things to know about David Williams.
The drum roll, please.
Favorite athlete? Do you have a guess?
This is like Eddie's fan fiction.
You got to take this
This
was
is
in
amazing.
This was 2007. This is my senior year.
It's gotta be.
Sale?
No, he
No,
wasn't
he
there
was
yet.
way after.
He was fucking what's his face? The catcher of the Sox.
Oh,
AJ?
AJ Brzezinski.
It's an easy one.
Is it Frank Thomas?
No.
It's Devin Hester
Oh, okay.
because he's a playmaker. Sports fantasy.
I don't even know what I said for this one.
Going balls deep in Paul Konerko. No, you did not. One day I'd like to travel the country and see games at every Major League Baseball stadium.
Still have yet to do that.
Yeah. Actor who would play you.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, Denzel.
You got anything?
I can't think of actors from back then.
Matt Damon.
Okay.
Different body type, but
Yeah, it fits.
yeah.
They
fits
could
enough.
Hansel and Gretel him. Him up.
What's on your
CGI.
iPod?
Eminem.
This is also easy, I think.
If it's easy, it's something like Led Zeppelin or John Prime.
iPod. That's a funny. What's on your iPod? I'd never had an iPod. I was too poor for it.
Yeah, I had a Del Pocket DJ. Anything from Lil Wayne to Sublime.
Oh,
Sublime. Sublime would have been. I should have guessed that.
Yeah.
And then the last one here, best high school baseball memory when I struck out 14 against West Chicago sophomore year.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I don't know how you just
Guess
showed
that-
me that now, but I'm happy you did.
Because my mom sent it to me yesterday.
Oh,
I didn't
really?
even ask her for it. She dug it up at her parents' house.
That's amazing, Dave.
But I saw
So
it.
that's
I'm
not a
like,
link. That's like a.
it's a screenshot of the actual newspaper.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Oh
It's ink.
wow.
It's
Okay.
we
paper.
might have to frame that.
Yeah,
I've
Can we
tried,
hang that up right hang behind Eddie's head there?
it'd be great.
I can. So my mom, she said, I'll give you that article. I also have a copy for your dad and your grandparents. Have one.
Give us everything you got.
Yeah,
Mrs.
give us
Williams.
everything.
So she's got a few.
Paper mache.
I don't even
the
want the
inside.
whole article. I just want that paragraph, that blurb.
Which
just
part?
expanded. Don't want to read the body type.
No, don't talk about that. You guys are focusing on the wrong things. You need to be focusing on how I threw out 15 to 24 runners my junior year.
What was the headline?
14 strikeouts against.
The headline
It
was
was like,
like
body
William-
type leads pitcher to become catcher. That'd be great. You know how like people have goals? They tell like a gym instructor or something like, I want to lose weight around here. I want to be overall healthier. I want to be a pitcher.
Yep.
There was like a gold glove thing that they didn't include because that's why they interviewed me, is because I won the gold glove for defense in like the area, and they didn't even include that in the article. I was pissed about it.
Bullshit.
It's fucked up.
Bullshit.
If only I could hit, I wouldn't be here with you assholes right now. You'd be dissecting me on this podcast and how I was playing.
I'd be like, this guy's fucking washed. 35 years old.
Why hasn't Jerry gotten rid of Dave Williams?
All right, then. We could wrap it up there. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on Tuesday. We'll see you then.